Good morning. Good morning. As per usual, um, uh, I'm running 15 minutes late. What can I say? I can say, oy vey. Um, but don't get worked up. Mm. I'll get there. Maybe. Get this bagel down to the factory. um, and then I'll pull the mic up. I don't want that high fidelity, bagel chewing. Oh, sorry. Don't smack your food. um, I had a lovely Purim celebration, and we had a lot of interesting costumes. You know, there was Frozen, the princess, and there was some pixies. uh, when Ren and Stimpy did that. Oh my god, I can't remember the name of the cartoon, but it's a cartoon. It's a Ren and Stimpy cartoon where they're pixies. They have to like mine pixie dust. And after I saw that cartoon, it's like all the little pixie fairy tales. It'll never be the same. I'll be eternally traumatized. But now that I've said that, and I should have said that because I'm going to go look up that cartoon, um, and bring it up. But yeah, we had a Power Ranger. We had one guy. He was like, he was like, I don't know, like an old beggar, with hair like snakes and all this. And it reminded me in the commentaries, uh, Louis Louis Ginsburg's commentaries on Elijah. There's Elijah appears to a bridegroom because he knows the angel of death is going to take him on his wedding night, right? So he comes and he says, "There's going to be a beggar, with hair like snakes or whatever like that, and when he comes, you better be good, and you better do this, treat him with all hospitality and respect, and put him on a seat of honor and all this stuff like that, because Elijah knew that it was the angel of death, and that it was going to be a very difficult slog to get him out of it. So this one guy was dressed up like the beggar with hair like snakes, and it reminded me so much of the commentaries that I was like, I'm not going to ask him, what are you dressed up as? Um, but I will later. But my daughter she got to wear her dinosaur costume, with the one with the orange one with the big tail. I think earlier on my stream you probably saw it, so that was good. And um, I didn't drink. I drank the day before, and I was like, "This is what I'm going to do. I'll get two bottles, right? Instead of getting one big 1.5 liter bottle, get two small bottles, right? But then I drank the first bottle, and a couple of hours went by, and I was like, yeah, I don't care. Where's that other bottle? That's what always happens. So then yesterday, it's like Jeffrey Hyman said, I can't make it on time. Can't make it on time. Yeah, I did it too early, and then when it was time for it, yeah, I didn't make it at all. So I didn't drink at all yesterday. Um, And also, yeah, my deathmatch tickets, I just totally wasted them because I was toasted, and when I did my stream, I was just like, I don't care. But maybe, yeah, maybe something will happen. I'll get it together this morning. So without further ado, well, maybe I'll have a little ado. Yeah, you gotta have dew in order to bring people back from the dead. That's how people are revived, is by the dew. So we need much ado. No, and this gives me a chance to see that my internet connection may not be functioning before I drop into an arena. Okay. Another thing that has come up is this Milty of the Mounted, and I know it's satirizing something, but that's so back in the remote past. I know, and the thing that came to my mind when on the Mad magazine that on the stream yesterday, the thing that came to my mind was Dudley Do Right, which is much later, like a satire of that kind of Milty of the Mounted thing, and this is in reference to the Royal Canadian Mountain Show or whatever it was, and yeah, let's see if I can do this quick. Let me see. Milton of the Mounted. Dick Kent with the Mounted Police. No, that's not it. Oh yeah, maybe it is. Let me try to look up the Milty of the Mounties. I'm doing it, folks, right here before your very eyes. The miracle of historical research. Google. Yeah. Okay. So. Oh God. This. If you could see what I see. Do a Google search and you'll see all the covers that come up, all the art. It's like, what a society! This is what we're making. I'm really gonna get back and do some battle here, but well, actually, I don't know. My internet connection may be bad here. Everything's running a little bit slow. Okay, it says yeah, it says everything's working. Okay, good. All right, so let's okay, I've got it. All right, a bit of Jewish history. If you're charitable enough to consider Harvey Kurtzman to be a Jew, uh, and I certainly am. Renfrew of the Royal Mounted is a series of adventure books, and there's a motion picture. Renfrew of the Royal Mounted. It's a 1937 film, and it is satirized. Okay, there's a television show or a radio show. I'm not show. I'm not show. I'm show. I'm show. I gotta read about this, but my thing is like, if you're gonna appreciate Mad Magazine, and you're gonna appreciate the work, it's like if you were watching my stream before when I had that issue of Mad that was The Way We Bore, and it was Robert Redford, and it was satirizing the way we were of Barbara Streisand and Robert Redford. I'm looking at Merv Griffin. Yeah. Actor Ed Asner, once recalled on the Merv Griffin television program how Renfrew of the Mounted was his favorite radio program. Okay. But this comic book that we're looking at, it's got funny stuff, like right on the surface, this, all these little signs and stuff, wanted, Nanook the Schnook, all this little stuff, and then this wanted a good 5-cent cigar. There's all that little funny stuff like that. But to really appreciate this, I guarantee that you need to fill out in your mind what they're making fun of, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to endeavor after my show, I'm going to endeavor to delve down into Renfrew of the Royal Mounted and see if I can dig it up, and if it's going to make this comic book even funnier, which I almost guarantee it is. All right. So with that, let's fire up the robot plasma generators and get this show on the road. Are we ready? Tournament starts in 19 hours, man. They shortened the death match to 3 minutes. I can't stand it. I really have a lot more fun if the death match is 5 minutes. Okay, this is where I'm supposed to read the comic book. Come in, Northwest Mountie, and shut the door. Whoosh. I see we're having a mild day out. Thank heaven we aren't having a real strong Canadian Mountie type snowstorm. Loading. Failed to start the battle. Please try again. I don't know if I've got a good connection. Okay, so let's see. Jackie the Mountie reporting, sir. I got my man. He always gets his man. Wanted Jack Fogarty. Can't read this one. Reward, 550 pounds for Jack Forrest. I don't get it. U.S. Mounties always get our man. Throw him in the brig and report for your next assignment. Come in, Northwest Mountie. Phew, it sure is warm. Us Canadian Mounties are only used to working in a real snowstorm. Herbie the Mounting reported, sir. I got my man. Okay, here we go. Man, everybody's gone. Wait a minute. It's scary. It's fast-paced, man. We're on the same team, fast-paced. I'm sorry I had nuclear nausea and weaponized or something. Oh, let's see, now my internet connection gone. See, that's what's going on behind it. And I'm sitting here right by the dang thing of the thing. Oh, and it's Defenestrate You. This is a lead battle. Oh. Man, I just defenestrated you, brother. Defenestrate me next time. Defenestrate. Do you know what that word means? It's a way, it means to kill someone. But it means to kill them by means of throwing them out of a high window. Oh, here comes Defenestrate You again. Oh, he's been drinking, man. Look at this. And you know he want to throw a thermal lance over here. And what are you aiming at, man? Look at that. Oh, he on me now. God dang it! Whoa! Oh, man, these guys, y'all coming all around and put a juggernaut around here? Man, that is so mean. Somebody help me, help me, help me. I'm gonna die. Please, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Have mercy. Oh. And Defenestrate want to get me from behind with he rematerialized and come up here. All right, I'm through. Y'all, I'm tired of this. You got a pulse cannon on your behind. All right, man, we gotta survive here, man. These guys ain't playing. Come on, Defenestrate. I was making fun of his aim, but he was tricking me. Engage. Man, don't crash my system. That's all I want. See, he can't aim. Man, what's wrong with you? Maybe he's bad internet too. Good, thank you. I need some help behind it. Lord. Let me get speed up here. Oh no. And you on my dang control point. Y'all, somebody come over here and help me. Help. Oh. Shoot. Lord. Please just let me give him a little bit of heal. Man, he tearing us up this morning. Oh, come on, Defenestrate. Can you focus on somebody else? For Lord's sake, I'm so tired. Yup, man, and see, I was out your way. I'm coming to get that point. I don't care what you do. I do not care. Defenestrate, or moss like grass, Defenestrate. Get my damn control point. Moss like grass, man, thanks. And Defenestrate, I'm being rude this morning, I know. I'm kind of cranky sometimes, but I appreciate all the coin you just gave me by dying about 5 times. With your crazy aims. I love that with it. You got that long arm and you're like missing me and you put a thermal lance on me. Can you point that at me? You got to put the sight on me, child. On me. Okay. All right. You don't have to if you don't want to. Oh, no, help. God. I shouldn't have asked him to get it right. Man, they really trying to get us. That's aggressive. Hell. Oh. Yep. There you go. Goodbye. I'm glad. Goodbye, I'm glad. Oh, it's St. Marcos, man. How you doing? I'm glad you got a chance to be on my team. Oh, I got a chance to be on your team. MVP, man. How did that happen? U.S. Mounties always coming. Throw them in the caboose and report for your next assignment. Wanted Jack Davis. I gotta look up these names. Jack, see, they're doing all these Jacks, right? Jack Caven. Jack Breslin. Come in, Northwest Mountie. Here comes another one of my Mounties. Make room for another prisoner in the caboose. Oh. Jackie, the Mountie, reporting, sir. I didn't get my man. Killed him from here to the North Pole. Okay, I better pay attention. Look, the guy's so pissed. It's like, you didn't get your man. What? late. Fairy Godmama's already up. Don't let him get way back up behind me, please. Take him out. Yeah, he's already back to that control point. Guys, get on this guy. Oh, great. Boredom. Ouch. Stop shooting that thing. I'm trying to shoot you. Throw me off. Meow. Somebody got that guy up behind me, didn't they? I hope so. Yeah, there he goes. X. Take him out. And I don't mean on a date. Thank you. Who is this? Boredom. Oh, I'm sorry. I was sorry. Oh, yeah. Don't tell me. The name was, it was worrying me. But you're on the ball. Thanks. Oh, man. God, I can't thank you enough. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, I got Fairy Godmama. Boredom. I love you, man. It's Moleskine. Moleskine. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, that was beautiful. I love when people, you get a lock and then you move your orientation to get the arc of to get it to go around the corner right. You don't want to point straight at them. You have to move your the arc of your away from. Oh, I'm sorry. God. I gotta stop talking. I shot my own guy. Remember that guy in Stalingrad, the movie Stalingrad? He's crying, he finds him, and he's like, "What are you crying about?" He's like, I shot my best friend. He's like, I've done that so many times. I guess they all have. It's like, we can't cry, we gotta go fight. Little Wehrmacht cry baby. It's funny because the guy tells him right before he gets shot. He's like, I'm going over there. You shoot anything that moves, right? And then he forgets something. He turns around, and the little guy is back there with the submachine gun. And the guy's like, "Oh, I forgot to tell you." And the guy's like, "Bah, bah," kills him. And he's like, "Oh no!" And he's sitting there just crying. I killed my friend. Man, I hate it when that happens. Help! Get away from me! Help! Somebody help me! Help me, please. Help me. Brooklyn Bomb. I suppose you know this means war. There you are. I see it. Get this guy. He's taking my control point. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Thank you. The nerve of some people. I let him get behind me, though. I was sitting there. I'm talking and stuff. And anybody that was... It had to be hilarious to be watching the map and see the guy creep up. And then I'm stuck. With a kill shot, like right on you on this hill, it's no. Yeah, you don't want to be there. Oh. See, and that was my Ares instinct. Well, how did that happen? I trailed him from here to the North Pole across the Spitsbergen Glacier, over the Arctic Sea, and back here. I thought while I was passing by I might warm my hands. No warming hands, no chow, no nothing till you get out there and get your man. A disgrace to the force. Interruptions. Nana the Crook. What's this report? To Chief Scott Yolo. Nana the Canuck is selling slot machines to the Eskimos again. Get Nana the Canuck or you're fired. Signed biggest Chief Yardley Landscott. Get Scollins. See if we can do a little bit better. La la la. That's all I need is a thermal lens. I don't want it. Look, I gotta. Is that Solid Snake? Good job. Yeah, because you saw, he's aiming. And unfortunately, it's on my forehead. Oh, there he is again. He knows how to aim. Help. Somebody save me. Oh, no, see, he's aiming. I'm practicing. I'm trying to aim too. Help. He's coming from up here. You know you want that control point, Solid Snake. You know you want it. Yeah, turn around your back. I like that. Come on, don't materialize on me. No. Swerve. Oh, man, Swerve. I'm sorry we had to meet like this. Swerve, you're buddy old Swerve pal. Thank you. Can you put... You're not getting this control point. I'm coming back with our weakest man. This is a disaster. Hit him. Thank you. I don't know. Something that these guys are practicing, Getting a sense of purpose. Oh no, here he comes again. Solid Snake. And he's all the way back here? Yeah, you're in a bad place. Oh my goodness. I would almost swear this had to be modeled by a Chinese from Southwest China. Because this really, it looks like Chongqing. It really does. Ouch. Spacing out. Memories of Chongqing. Some of the best years of my life. Man. All the chicks. Never had so many girls. Help. Come on. Now stop. Stop! Come on, Solid Snake. You know you want to take it. Come down here. Come down here. Oh. I asked for it. No. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look at the replay, but it really looks like he's aiming quite well. Rocket Rider, you should have really, if you had some intestinal fortitude, yeah, that's what you should be doing. That's right. Barbie Koa MVP, and I didn't even get to engage her. But, no problem. You always gotta act aloof. But hopefully she'll notice me. Scoggins! That's right, yes sir.
Scoggins, where the devil's at Orly, Scoggins O'Beam.
Hoo-hoo.
Ah, there you are. Scoggins for the devil, where you want to call. All right, man, up I say.
That's right. What is this? Genuine bison. The war. 30 pounds. Ready. Nana the book. Where are they gonna go? Are they gonna sweep over here? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna meet this guy head on. Oh, it's Rock Amadeus. How you doing? Dingle County and Darkwing Duck. Morning, guys. Oh, see, they got long arms over there. I don't like it. Ouch! Benny J, a man after my own long arm rocket. I don't need to go. Oh, here comes Sack. Brother. You guys are really pushing through this morning. I know you want it. Go for it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Perfect. Sack. So I'm going to have to go over there. Gemini 66, you're coming from my control point right here. I know what you're up to. You can't fool me. Good. You guys keep them. You need to pin these guys down a little bit. We got the central control point. I don't need to go down there. Sack. Yeah, good. Beautiful. Thank you, Sack. Huggy Wuggy. Oh, no. This is somebody new. Now, Benny G, we know. Oh, Huggy Wuggy. Man, and a respectable guy. I appreciate that. First of all, thank you for the coins. Trying to get my coins. Huggy Wuggy. And also for being a gentleman or a gentlewoman lady about it. Huggy Wuggy. Oh, I'm gonna die. Well, See that? And then Huggy Wuggy comes back and just ices me. How dreadful. Some people, the nerve. Here I am. Okay, let me get you out of the way. Get Sack. He's not even looking at you. Sack, what are you doing? That's the wrong way. Benny G. Here, Benny G. Oh, I'm out of bullets. My proton is dilapidated. Oh, help, I'm gonna die. Oh, no. Oh, no. Please don't kill me. Oh. Well, you are so. What's up, Doc? Boom. Oh, sorry. No, I appreciate you guys. Really. And Sack, what can I say? You're just awesome. Oh, help. No. Oh, no. Oh, I'm not armed. Help. Somebody save me. Save me. Oh, help. He's got all these laser beam things. Ouch. Oh, okay. Go, 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 go. Run. You want to get in there and shoot? Don't shoot at the wall, for God's sake. Oh, noob. There, Benny G. Awesome guy. What a guy. Oh, Lord. I don't have any cover. That was pretty good. Wow. On so many levels. 9. Wow.
Scoggins! Scoggins, I've got a bit of a problem. I've got to round up Nano, Canuck, and I can't think of the Mountie who's up to the job. Who can I choose, Jackie? Herbie?
Mountie always gets his man. What about Milty the Mountie?
Sorry. Eddie, Teddy, Freddy, Lenny, Benny, Kenny, Eddie, Benny, Throckmorton? How did he get in here? Willie, Philly, Tilly? This is a man.
How about Milty the Mountie, sir? Oh, it's the game. I got it. Come on, Fitzy. You know you want to come out here. No. Help. Emo. Don't take my control point. Numbskull. Come on, get that point. Thanks, Flibbert Gibbet. Oh, Flibbert Gibbet. That's so weird. It's kind of creepy, dude. How'd you come up with it? Because a gibbet is like, you know, a place where people get hanged. And a flibbert, I don't know, it's like it's what you might be doing when you're being hanged. Flibberting. Yeah, that's what I like. No, that's what I don't want. Make help. Now he's got some imperviosity shield on. Didn't work, did it? Emo was behind me, or was it? Was that Emo on there? Oh, man. Sight on the guy. Back up, buddy. Need to move. Don't let this guy up here. We're gonna be trouble. It's gonna be trouble. It'll end in tears. Ouch! Please don't kill me. Do anything you say. Better get out of the way. Help. Look at that guy. Oh. I was just outside of your frustum. Oh no! Don't tase me, bro. I hate a taser. Okay. Hope you're not. Make it now. Make it now. There we go. Come on, get that control point back. Get it back. No, we're doomed. What is this guy? God. Jeez. 2, 4, 6, 8 long arm shells. Jeez. Make it. Oh. Let's see. Wow.
I've got it. We'll use Milty the Mountie. Never thought of that, huh, Scoggins? Why, that man is planted in the saddle. Get Milty the Mountie, Scoggins. Hurry, hurry. Yes, sir. Planted in the saddle. Here he comes. Milty, always get my mount. Hip, hip, hip. Dun, 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 dun.
Who was that? Columbo? I don't really know Columbo that well. Oh, thank you. Oh, who is that? Oh, Extremity WSR, BWSR Extremity. We have been in battle many times. Thank you. Help! Oh, thanks. I really didn't hit the cover, but that guy really, who was that? That was better watch out. Guy covered me. That's right. Box him in, man. Don't let him get out. Oh, here they come. Chimichanga! Good shot. Dang you.
G. The G. Chimichanga, 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 chimichanga. The ugly. The ugly. Oh man, do you have to put the freeze ray on me, troll face, man? You want to talk about annoyance? Oh, that's what I say. Oh man, that was bad. Somebody take him out. He's got 1 hit point left. Kill him. Help. I'm gonna use my speed ability. Oh! Ouch! Man, you guys are taking out some of my best robots. Getting ready to take you out. No hard feels. So that's where I left my chewing gum. Well, Chief, I guess you've got another difficult assignment for me, but don't worry, I always get my man. Good boy, Milky. I want you to go out that door, and I want you to get Nanuk the Canuck. Nanuk the Canuck. Like I said, I always like a tan. So long, Chief. I was just on my way to Florida. Milky, blah, Milky. Don't tell your old Chief you're afraid to go out the door. Was I? Suddenly, Chief, I feel a strange new strength. A conviction that makes me completely unafraid to walk out that door. Hep, hep, hep. I always get my mind. There's a touch of snow on the ground. Perhaps I should have worn my snowshoes. Maybe my regular shoes, too. Hep, hep, hep. Now to find Nanuk the Canuck's trail. Footprints. In the snow, caribou, bear, I can't wait. It says Goodyear rubber on these footprints. It must be man's. I will follow trail. There's another set of prints. Joins the first. If this is Nanuk, he has a partner. Here's another set of prints. He's got to be walking in circles. This is Nanuk. He must have 2 partners. He's probably walking in circles. Yeah. Dummy. When I'm 27 more blueprints and need to use 2,000 credits. Let's see. What have I got? 146. Let's see. Play off of them. What am I looking for? Okay. Yeah, when it's over that, you gotta click on it.
Okay, that's maybe. Okay. Yeah, you sort of need to drop out and gather all your treasure or something. What am I supposed to do here? Why is it telling me to come over here? Daily, weekly, okay, fine. I got the 120 blueprints. Okay, so all I've got to do now is spend 2,000 credits, and I got plenty. So what I really would like is to upgrade this weapon. That's it. Kidding me. Let's see if I can check out these implants. Carbine magazine, scrap. Slingshot smash. This is new. This is that. Let's check out this one. No. How about the man? Can I upgrade the Paragon? No. $575. No. Weapon 1. Gemini. $625. Good God almighty. How is she going? 1,500. This pulse cannon damage needs to go. Oh, money coming home. I'm gonna get tens of thousands and the highest reward. Oh no. Don't tell me I lost my connection. Ah. Awesome. I cannot believe that. Yeah. So yeah, and I mentioned this before. If you get on here and count if this is a fair random spin of the wheel, you got a better probability of getting one of these big cash out items. But I don't know why that won me the acorns. Oh, it's like it's part of the Vault Blitz, right? So okay, so you got to look at this thing and see what you're gonna get as you spend more of these things. Can't believe it. But I can't find any place where I can spend. Let me look at inventory. slingshot. Should I buy one? Something I can afford. I guess I could get a Zephyr. There's some way I could spend. Let's look at weapons. Weapons unlocked, 34 out of 7. How many do I have? Can I put a pulse cannon 8? Oh, I see. I bought a pulse cannon 8 because it was unlocked, but I don't have the strength to install it. $750. Almost there. So let's. I want to upgrade this MD. I want to throw everything I got. The inspiration of my daughter. You know, my daughter was like the MD is the most important, right? So because you got to heal people. That's what she said. Got to heal Nathan. She said. Felt guilty. Hours. Alright, I guess I'm ready to go in. Galway Gal. Oh no. Just what I did not want to have happen. Onslaught. Totes. Good job, Open Sandwich. It's nice when they're on your team. Here's Galway Gal. Archangel 33. Help. Huh? Buddy. Toads. Toads, what's going on? I love you, Toads. You're like a brother. Don't look at me like that. Slowly I turn. Step by step kind of look. Inch by inch. Oh! Toads. Toads, I suppose you know this means war. Coming. Man, I really don't like it when you guys get right in my crib. Oh no. Run! Oh! You guys are just so. cry. Well, did the best I could. Better than yesterday. God, that was so stupid. Yeah, I'm down at the Canuck. I decided to bring myself in for the reward money. Hup, 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 hup. You crazy boy. The man don't get his man. The Mountie gets his man. You'll never get me, Mountie. I, Milty the Mountie, always get my man. I'll follow you through the rain. Through the sleet. Here again. Just Rochambeau, Sagittarius, Crusher, Miss Penzel, Darling, I've worshipped you from afar. I bet you say that to all the girls. Yeah. You're right. I do. Man, I ain't misbehaving. Saving all my love for you and you, and especially you. You need to get down there, you can go. You want to go? You scared? Well, who is this? Crusher, are you tripping? What do you want? Want to dance? Oh. Miss Pencil, you're coming down that funnel once again. The second time today. You probably don't want to do that. I'm gonna be here. Well, maybe if some of your teammates would take care of business, I would not be. Here she comes from the side. She decided to go around the other. See, that's better. But it's a bad idea to come across here. Foolish imp. No longer valid. Come on. What have we killed? Everybody? Where is everybody? Okay, here they come. Oh. My shield. Good job. Thank you. Help! Man, this is no... Get away from me! Help! 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 Somebody, please don't kill me! Please. What is going on, man? What are you guys doing over there? I thought we were winning. Get that thermal lance off of me! I wonder if, you know, if this is a lock. You know, like when they really... Turn this around. Not even on the board. I have to hang my head in shame.
what is not a bot doing? He's just hanging out. I don't want to get that. Guys, look, I'm a sniper. Draw them over here and I'll pick them off. Act like you're scared and run away from them. We're falling back like that, you know? Oh no, please don't kill me. And then just ice him. Draw him right into the funnel. Okay, come on. Good job, G-Daddy. Good, you know how to move where you need to move. Certainly did. Peg like no judge, man, bro. What it is. What it was. What it might have been had we waited around and stayed there long enough to find out. But we did not.
Oh Lord, here it comes. Not a bot. I was late for you. I was like, when is he gonna wake up? Maybe he was trying to drink some coffee, but he was back up there doing, I don't know what you were doing. Now he's easing over. Somebody get that G-Daddy, man. He's still firing. He's got 1 hit point. But if you let him continue to live, man, it's much worse for you. Ouch! Right on. That's just so. Go. Come back. That's where you need to be. Ouch! Again and again. That is so. Oh, I'm dead. Help. Man, what is going on with this? How many? I'm like, this is ridiculous. Ouch. Can I just? Oh, right, you guys. Who did that? Roger, was that you? Amazing. I thought it was over. I was like, well, who killed all those guys? That was brilliant. I was like, we're done. Let me just hide till they come around and kill me. The last man standing. That was beautiful. I wish I could have seen. You know, I just wish we were in communication more. You know, very few of these people, like the people that I regularly see, on my friends list. Not a bot. I waited. You know how I waited for that moment. Please let us win. He's got on stealth mode. Oh, there he goes. Leave my post. See, I'm already missing shots. There you go. There you go. Captain Pugwash. STVCHST. Play. Milty the Mountain, chasing the night cave. He's trapped in a dead end ahead. I told you I always get my name. Nana to cannot. You're up against the dead end, and when I get through, the rest of you will be dead too. Wait, Milty, before you shoot me, let me open up my coat. I just stole it brand new, and I'd hate to get nasty old bullet holes in it. It's probably a really hot girl. I just stole it randomly. reaction. Hello? You can turn your back to me. It's not, you can do it if you want to do it. I appreciate your consideration. Chaka Khan, let me tell you what I want to do. Want to bless you, want to blow you, want to vaporizer too. Chaka Khan. Ouch! And Rochambeau, do you have to point that right at me? I guess that's a good idea. Yeah. You're on the right track. I said, if you want to miss wildly, like some people do, I don't mind. Got on the thing, it's getting a little bit stronger. Harder, too. There goes his shield. Okay. Come on, take him down. Okay. Thank you for the assist. Hell White. Taking care of business every day. Taking care of business, it's alright. Taking care of business and working overtime, working. Eat somebody else. Thank you. Are you trying to distract me? Because you're distracting me. I'm clear back there. I thought he was doing something. Ouch. It's yo cowards. That's a goofy ass name. He's one of these, come out here and fight like a man. He gets mad and I think he's been mad before for sniping him from the most remote. You know, the long, but my weapon is a sniper weapon and it gets the most damage. But at the big distance. When you're close, it gets less damage. It's also actually hard to use it. It's hard to use it in close quarters. Chicken. Buck, 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 buck. There you go. Thank you. Alright. Vandelele. Vandele. Vandelele. Oh no.
Oh, God! Help! No, you guys! No, get away! Come on, kill him! Kill him!
Vandelele. You got me. I'm just like,
I don't care. Get off my control point.
these guys are swarming us. Come on, y'all. Bugger.
Ouch. I'm going for that control point. Dang it.
We're gonna lose. Well, I hope not. Don't give up. That's what I said. Ouch. Well, you guys are practicing. Need to relax there for a second. Thank you. I gotta get out for a minute. Need to stretch my hand. I give you request you. Let me get him in the chat room. Let's listen. Q Panda, add me. Q Panda, yes. Siage. I give you request you. Oh, Sheikh Zula. The fearsome Sheikh Zula. Bongo. Man, Bongo, how did Bongo get all the way over here so fast? Ah! I can't, where's my sight? It won't move. Oh, he's got one of those little scampers. That's how he scampered over there. So quick. What do you call those again? Yeah, go ahead and empty that magazine. Sengoku. It's Bongo. 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 I was thinking about yelling at that guy yesterday. I throw up my fence in this death match, right? And the guy goes around. I was like, stop going behind my fence. That's there for a reason. And I was just doing it. I was going around the guy's fence. And I started remembering that, and I laughed, and the blue guy killed me from behind. I deserved it. Yeah, sort of works. Gotta hit him a whole bunch of times. There's blue guy. Hey, blue guy. Blue guy. What's going on, blue guy? Take some hit points, blue guy. Up! Please help me. Oh, God. That's horrible. Chicken! Come on, fight like a man. Something weird just happened there. Saw some disappearing, reappearing stuff. Are we winning? The killer. Please don't kill me, killer. I'll do anything you say. Help. Yeah, turn around. That's right. Stop pointing that thermal lance at me and point it at someone else. Toe beams and the fearsome Sheikh Zula. PEMDAS needs some practice. I don't like to teach PEMDAS. I do not. Because the thing that kids always use that and get the wrong answer is, it's too much of a shortcut. Because multiplication and addition, well, no. Multiplication and division are like of the same rank, but they always have to be performed from left to right. So, yeah, PEMDAS is not exactly correct. In other words, if you follow rigidly PEMDAS, you will get it wrong every time that you should have performed the division first. been an eyewitness of that. Help. I wonder if that hit everybody. Focus on me. Thank you, Caramelize. I like you in that condition. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Man, oh, here's this Norwegian. There you go. Caramelize times 2. Oh no, that's not what I need. Come on. Thank you, Internet gods. Dirigible. All right. We're getting to know each other up in here. Caramelize. I love you, Caramelize. Oh no! Help! Help! Please, it's gonna kill me. I'm gonna die. Oh man, I am doomed now, man. You done messed me up. Oh God. I hope I get my dying breath coins. As soon as my shield's penetrated, I'm dead. Oh. Medic. I'm coming. And here's the Norwegian guy. Shoot, shoot. Okay, now, Multi, go ahead. Go ahead, it's easy. Shoot, shoot, yeah, I'll shoot. See, you hold the gun, your finger on the trigger, and follow the gun pointing to he is to be shot. Ouch. Ow. That's one of those chances you take. Jumping out without your shield on. Police did not lose the internet connection. Taser! You know I hate a taser. Don't tase me, bro. And it's the go, too. You should be ashamed of yourself. Worst offense. Well. Karma, buddy. Karma. Tasers. I hate those. I hate a freeze gun, too. Oh no. Oh, and I'm right where the materialize place is. No. Don't materialize. Okay, we won. Oh, how did that happen? 3. That's a tough combat. Then you simply apply pressure on the trigger. Once, twice, thrice, twice, as many times as necessary. Bam, 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 bam. A 6-shoot. Oh God, Milty the Mounted, I always get my man. Unfortunately, this shall not hold true for Nana the Kenna, for you see, Nana the Kakuk is a woman. Oh. Okay, it's time for me to go over to my daughter's account. Ran out in my combat point. Hello, Kanzan. What's up? I gotta, I wish there was like an always on top for Streamlabs, because I'm doing so many things, I need like 3 HD monitors or something to have everything laid out, because I don't know if Kanzan, are you still there? No, yeah. Can I play with you on Mac? Yeah. Well, see, this happened yesterday. Somebody was trying to get on here. Here's this guy, and I'm trying to get him to pop up here. I'm going on the chat now. And, yeah, okay, follow. Kanzan, PH 21111. PH, are you from the Philippines, Kanzan? I'm a big fan of Jose Rizal. Everybody should drop everything and read his books. And I don't like Filipinos that say, well, if he's so smart, why is he dead? He's a great man. They killed him because he was great. I'm working on a layout here, like on my what is happening is I'm missing these chats, and also let me go and get my code. Kanzan, I'm sorry. I have my screen layout. You can see on the way I'm doing my stream, I've got a lot of windows open, and I only have 2 HD monitors, and I've got a bunch of stuff open, and this is happening to me. Okay, I've got to reconnect. I'm gonna. Go. See, I gotta work this out, folks. Thank God I've got a recording going. So I don't know. I was Kanzan, are you still there? Follow. Refresh my chat. Okay, 49894075. 49894075 is me. Yeah, I'm sorry if I missed see there. Okay. Okay. Now, see, I've got a reconnecting message again. I don't know if it's. I'm not getting it. Well, let's see. Okay, supposedly it's working. See what I'm facing.
Might I walk with you if you're going that way? It was obviously not the right accent for leadership, and the opera looked him over more carefully, and then said, you are, Governor. They walked together in silent state. When they parted, Lenny wasn't sure if the symbol of the Empire would accept a tip, but he took a chance, and held out the shirt in which he had denied to Lister. The symbol took it with one hand and with the other touched his helmet. You, said he. The visitor had already had it explained to him that this was the second half of Hank Yu, doing duty for the whole. Lenny decided to say nothing to his mother about his misadventure. It would only worry her, and do no good. He had learned his lesson, and would repeat the mistake. He brooded all by himself over the state of the people that East loved him. when he went to call for his mother at a tea party in Kensington Gardens. The sight of exquisite ladies on the greensward under the trees made him think of the families that were lying out on benches all night because they had no place to go. Instead of Snow White and King Miss Soy, he saw filthy and loathsome rags. Instead of the fragrant concentrations of the flower gardens of Provence, he smelled the stink of rotting bodies in the reek of gin. They drove to Ascot on the second day of the races, the day of the gold face. He was known as a black and white Ascot, because of the costumes decreed by the fashion dictators. He saw black and white striped taffeta dresses with black and white parasols to match. He listened to the chatter of his mother and her friends, commenting upon the fashion parade for blue hats, broad effects, massage prolonged into polonaise, shot silk drape as tunic, butterfly wing confection, black lizard straw, boots of Thibaut's taffeta, bandeau hats and plume towers, coffins of lizard green suiting, all the while he would be seeing babies lying on benches with only rags to cover them. He watched the royal procession, the king and queen riding across the turf amid thunderous cheers from the crowd, and he thought, wonder if they know about it. The person who took into his confidence was Rick. And Rick said that people knew if they chose to know, but mostly they didn't. He said those conditions were as old as England. The politicians talked about remedying them, but when they got elected they thought about getting elected again. He said there was a problem of educating those slum people, of raising the tone of the intellectual and art life of the country. He took Lanny to a matinee of a play by Bernard Shaw which was the rage that season. He dealt with a flower girl who talked just the sort of cockney that Lanny had heard during his descent into hell. A professor of phonetics succeeded in correcting her accent, making her into a regular lady of Mayfair. He was most amusing and he seemed to be in line with Rick's suggestion. Kurt Meissner arrived, and he, too, was taken into the discussion. Said Kurt, we don't leave our board to the mercies of the wage market. The Germans are efficient and provide decent housing for the workers and insurance against sickness, old age, and unemployment. Kurt was perhaps a little too well satisfied with conditions in his country and too contemptuous of British slackness. Rick, who was willing to make any number of sarcastic remarks about his native land, wasn't so pleased to hear them from a foreigner. Rick and Kurt didn't get along so well in London as they had in Helluland. Lenny talked about the question of poverty with his mother also, and he assured him that the kind English people were not overlooking the problem. He would soon see proof of it. The 24th of June was known as Alexander Day, and the fashionable ladies of England honored their queen mother by putting on their daintiest white frocks and hats with many flowers and going out on the streets of the cities to sell artificial pink roses for the benefit of the overcrowded hospitals. Lenny saw his mother, the Lovelius sight in Piccadilly Circus, taking in silver coins hand over fist. He had to drive 3 times in one of Lord Evesham Watson's cars to keep her supplied with stock in trade. He hoped that he might be able to provide accommodations for all those babies who were sleeping outdoors on benches. 9. Green and pleasant land. I. The home of Sir Alfred Pomeroy Nielsen was called King Leeches, and was close to the Thames River somewhere below Oxford. It was a very old place, and not much had been done to modernize it, because, as Rick explained, his father was too poor. They had all they could do to keep the place, and not much left for their beloved arts. There was a little bit of everything in the architecture of the house: an old tower, a deep roof of gables, mullioned windows, a crenellated wall, a venerable archway through which you drove to the Fort Cochin. The structures were jammed one against another, and topping them all were chimney pots, sometimes 3 or 4 in a row. This meant that all the year except summer the maidservants were busy carrying cold scuttles. And since there was very little running water, when they had finished with scuttles they carried pails. But, of course, in summertime everybody went to the river, crossing a beautiful sloping lawn under an archway of bleached oaks. It was a new kind of swimming for Lanny, and he thought he could never get enough of it. The boys lived in bathing suits, and a tent in a long flat-bottomed boat with a 10-foot pole. It was a nice friendly little river, neither wide nor deep. Boathouses lined it, and gaily decorated motorboats went by, and long thin shells, with oarsmen practicing for the coming races. It was a holiday thoroughfare, and there was laughter and singing. The 3 musketeers of the art sang all the songs they knew. Rick had a sister, 2 years older than himself, and therefore too old for either of the visitors. But she had friends with younger sisters, so there was a troop of English girls bright-cheeked and jolly, interested in everything the boys were doing, and sharing their sports. Landy was just at the age where he was preparing to discover that girls were wonderful, and here they were. Sir Alfred Pomeroy Nielsen was a middle-aged gentleman, tall and slender, with handsome dark mustaches turning gray, sharp features, a hawk's nose, and keen dark eyes. He had a Spanish mother, and maybe a trace of Jewish blood, as Rick had said. He was a lover of all the arts and friend of all the artists. He knew many rich people, and acted as a sort of go-between for the Bohemian world, telling the Wild was what's in art and helping the struggling geniuses to find patrons. And in between this playwright would bring him a blank verse tragedy, and Sir Alfred would decide that it was a masterpiece, and would design a group of magnificent sets for it. Then he would set out to find a backer, and when he failed he would declare the evening was going to the dogs. He had very high standards, and would relieve his disappointments by composing sharp epigrams. It was a free and easy world which he had made for himself within his castle. The most extreme opinions were freely voiced, and it was everybody's pride not to be shocked. But at the same time it would be better not to commit any lapse of table etiquette, and when you took off your bathing suit you put on the right sort of clothes. This made an odd mixture of convention and scorn for convention, and a boy with American parents had now and then to ask his friend for guidance. Rick would give it with an apology. The older people try to be modern, but they really aren't quite up to it. Kurt Meissner found even greater difficulties, because he was stiff and serious and couldn't get used to the idea of saying things that you didn't entirely mean. N.A. Pickwickian sense was the English phrase, and what was a youth from a province of Prussia to make of it? Kurt was puzzled by their habit of running down their own country. What they said about the state of England was what Kurt himself believed, but he couldn't get used to the idea of Englishmen saying it. They would even discuss the desirability of getting rid of their royal family. The Prince of Wales is going to turn out to be another dancing boy, Sir Alfred would remark blandly. Ladies' man like his grandfather. and then the suffragettes. The son of the Comptroller General of Castle Studendorf had read in the newspapers about maniacal creatures who were pouring acids into letterboxes and chaining themselves to the railings of the House of Commons in order to prove their fitness to have the vote. But never in his wildest mind had it occurred to him that he might be called upon to sit at dinner table with one of these creatures, and to take her hunting upon the Thames. But here was Mildred Nuggins, 19 years old, the daughter of a former undersecretary in the government. Pretty, but pale and rather grim, only 3 weeks out of Holloway jail after having chopped a hole in the painted face of the Velsch's Venus, most highly prized treasure of the National Gallery. They talking quite calmly about it, discussing the and Balzac, by which the authorities were combating hunger strikes. They let you out of jail when they thought you were near dying, and took you back again as soon as you had looked up a bit. Rick's sister, Jocelyn, abetted her. And of course these saucy ladies soon found out what was in the hearty soul of the junker from Silesia, and it became their delight to tease him beyond endurance. They wouldn't let him help them into a punt. Oh, thank you. All that nonsense is over. Chivalry and elegance scraping before women. We're quite able to get into punts by ourselves, and we'll do our share of handling the pole, if you please. And what do you mean when you say that man is gregarious, and that man is a spiritual being, and so on? Do you refer to lordly males like yourself, or do you mean to include the females? And if you include us, why don't you say so? Of course, we know it's just a way of speaking, but it's a benighted one devised by men, and we object to it. Yes, Miss Noggins, Kurt would reply, unfortunately I have not known any word in your language which expresses the concept in a woman. When the feminist lady proposed that they should create such a word, Kurt replied, gravely, have found it hard enough to learn the English language as it exists, without presuming to add anything to it. Aye. The 3 boys discussed the matter among themselves. Kurt thought that the revolt of women meant the breakdown of English society. It was like the art of the members in one of the fables of Aesop. Lenny hoped that, if women got the vote, society might be kinder and there wouldn't be so much talk about war. Rick said, it won't make much difference, one way or the other. The women will divide about as the men do, and there'll be more votes to count. Generally when these 3 argued they had different opinions, and when they finished, they still had them. Of course they talked about girls, and what was called the X problem. No one of the 3 had as yet had a sex experience. Kurt said that he had had opportunities. The peasant girls were often willing enough, and looked upon it as an honor that a gentleman would do them. But Kurt had the idea of saving himself for a great and worthy love. Lenny remembered what the Social Democratic editor had said about Kurt's father, but of course he wouldn't read a word of that. Rick said, rather casually, if a sex experience comes my way I'll probably take it. I think people make more fuss about it than is necessary, especially since methods of birth control are generally known. It seems to me the women are waking up and will attend to changing our ideas. Indeed, put Miss Mildred Noggins in charge of my ideas, replied Kurt. And they all laughed. Lenny, desiring to contribute something to the conversation, told about his unpleasant experience with Baron Leibniz Mazursky. Rick, young man of the world, said that homosexuality was spreading. It was one of the consequences of the false morality of Puritanism. Here's a plague of it in our public schools, he declared. The boys hide their share from the masters, and the masters hide their share from the boys, or think they do. This was one time that Kurt did try to prove that Germany was superior to England. He's back in our army, he said. Lenny decided to tell how he had unwittingly got into conversation with the Social Democratic editor in a railway station, and the man had repeated evil rumors about high-up persons. Such an editor would believe the worst about our ruling classes, said Kurt. They talked also about something that had happened the other day in Sarajevo, capital of the province of Bosnia. The Austrian Archduke, heir to the throne of the empire, had been on an official tour with his wife, and the 2 of them had been murdered while riding in a motor car. Rick and Lenny had heard the elders discussing it, but hadn't paid much attention. Kurt now explained that Bosnia was a province of Austria inhabited mostly by Slav, inferior and disorderly people. They're always agitating against the Austrian authorities, he said, and the Serbians across the border encouraged them. The murder was committed by students, and naturally the Austrians will have to take strong measures to punish the conspirators. The other 2 were interested in the story, but as something far off that didn't mean much to them. It was politics. And they were all agreed that politics was an activity which artists were in duty bound to look upon with contempt. All 3 were dedicated to the service of the ideal. And Jansen, Newton, Warren Lazard, Zulevin and Guy had taught, and Kurt repeated it to the other 2. The diplomats in the Balkans would continue to squabble, but men of superior mind would pass over such headlines in the newspapers, and give their attention to the reviews of Ravel's Daphnis and Chloe, them being superbly danced by the Russian ballet. Aye. Another event of the moment was the Royal Regatta at Henley-on-Thames. Amateur oarsmen from many parts of the world assembled, and the river was put upon the map for 3 days. There were 2 American crews among them, so Lanny had a chance to feel patriotic. The finals were rowed on Saturday, and Lanny's mother came with a motoring party from London, and met a family who were hosts to her boy. Of course, these 3 young people didn't concern themselves about her divorce, and she was lovely in her simple white frock, of what the French call misleading de communion, and a jardiniere hat with pink head roses held in place by a white chiffon veil several yards in length. At her throat was a diamond val brooch that also looked simple as you knew that it was set in platinum. Harry Murchison drove the party, and had servants following in another car, to set up tables and spread in the lavender on the lawn of the Regis. It was a festivity without a single foul unless you counted the fact that wasps persisted in getting stuck in the jam. Afterwards they motored to Henley, and the Conroy Yilsons invited them to a private enclosure of one of the rowing clubs, from which they had a view of the finish. The course had been marked off with piles driven, and booms, and there were no launches and no highway to trouble the oarsmen, as known on the big rivers of America, just a nice friendly sort of tea party place, so that oarsmen rowing down the course could hear the conversation of spectators on both banks.
This is ridiculous.
On one side was a towpath, on which the crowd ran or bicycled. On the other side, behind the booms, were pups and rowboats crowded together like sampans on a Chinese river. It was a gay scene. The men wore blazers with the colors of their glowing clubs, while the ladies in their gray gowns all on silken cushions.
They must have a server
Of
down or
course, you wouldn't expect an
something.
English
So
crowd to roll and cheer
what
like
I'm
an
gonna
American
do
one.
is
Harvard.
let's see. I
Would be the proper
gotta.
expression of enthusiasm. It happened that the final in-8 for event for the Grand Challenge Cup was rowed by two American crews, one composed of Harvard undergraduates and the other Harvard graduates. So there were many crimson flags and nasal New England
I'm gonna
accents.
take a brief
Oddly enough, the
break.
race was rowed on the 4th of July, so the Americans had to be careful not to give offense to their well-mannered hosts. Only one thing marred a perfect day for Lanny Budd, and that was the attention which Harry Murchison was so obviously paying to his mother. It was Harry who helped her out of the motor car, and Harry who helped her in again, and it happened to be Harry who caught her when one of her fancy high-heel slippers caused her ankle to turn. He was a good-looking, agreeable fellow, and the Paula Nielsen's could have no reason to criticize his interest in an unattached woman, but that would be because they didn't know about Marcel's days. But Lamb thought of Marcel down there at the Gap, painting diligently. He must be lonely, and wondering when his beauty would get through with the social world and return to the life hour and love. She was going back to France right after this race, but not going home yet. She had been invited to spend a fortnight with Mrs. Emily Chattersworth, an American friend who lived on the Riviera in winter and in a CH film near Paris in summer. From a bit of conversation, Lanny now gathered that Harry Murchison was motoring her there, and would be in Paris and take her to AFT Chantry. Lenny couldn't get away from the disturbing thought. Was this too agreeable heir of a plate glass factory in Pennsylvania trying to win the love of his mother? And if so, where did Marcel come in? Had beauty begun to tire of her painter? A whole new set of problems for a youngster who was supposed to have learned all the facts of life. ID. Among the girls who came to the Reaches was the daughter of an army officer by the name of Rosemary Condoleezza, which you pronounced however. She had hazel eyes and smooth thick hair the color of straw, and very regular, rather grave features might have served as model for a girlish Minerva, goddess of wisdom. She was a year older than Lanny, and took a maternal attitude for him, which he liked, being a mother's boy. Rosemary was fascinated by the cruise, and would watch Lanny and Rick and imitate what they did, and was very good at it. She had been to the Riviera and knew the places Lanny knew, so they had plenty to talk about. When the young couple strolled apart, it would be Rosemary and Lanny. They were sitting near the river, watching the last tints of the fading day. A single very bright star, and no sound on the river, but up at the house Kurt Meissner playing the slow movement of Mozart's D minor piano concerto. A lovely melody, tender and touching, floated down to them. He died to a whisper, rose again, and then again, in different forms, an infinite variety. It whispered of love and beauty, it captivated the soul and led it into a heaven of ecstasy, pure yet passionate. It was one of those rare moments in which new possibilities of the spirit seemed to be unveiled. And when at last the music died away, neither of them moved for a while. Lenny felt the girl's hand touching his. He returned the pressure gently, and again they were still. A faint breeze stirred tiny ripples on the surface of the water, and caused the evening star's reflection to shiver and tremble. In the soul of Lenny something of the same kind began to happen, the strangest, indescribable sense of delight pervading his being. He leaned closer to the girl, who seemed to feel the same way. The music had begun again. Kurt was playing something that Lenny didn't know. It sounded like Beethoven. Slow and mournful, a lamentful and the suffering men inflict upon one another. But the magic of art turns sorrow into beauty, pain into ecstasy. The young people were flooded with an emotion which caused their two hands to tighten and tremble, and tears to start down their cheeks. When the music died again, Lanny whispered, H, that was so sweet. Not a brilliant observation, but the tones of his voice were eloquent. Rosemary's reply startled him. Who may kiss me, Lenny? He hadn't known that he wanted to kiss her. Probably he wouldn't have dared to think of it. But he realized at once that it would be pleasant to kiss her very gently, respectfully, of course. So he planned. But when he touched his lips to hers, her arms folded about him, and they clung together in a long embrace. Those strange thrills became more intense, they suffused the boy's whole being. He seemed to know what all the music of the world was about, what it was trying to express. He wanted nothing but to stay there, perfectly still, and have Kurt go on playing sweet, sad melodies. Somebody came along, interrupting them, so they got up and went into the house. Lenny's cheeks were flushed, but Rosemary was as cool and serene as the girlish Minerva, goddess of wisdom. Whenever she looked at Lenny she smiled, a gentle smile, at once a reassurance and a pledge of happiness to come. So after that, whenever circumstances permitted, those two wandered off by themselves. As soon as they were alone, their hands would come together. And when they found a sheltered spot, or darkness to protect them, their arms would be about each other and their lips would meet. They never went any further. Lenny would have been shocked by the idea, and the girl did not invite it. They were at a stage where happiness came easily, and in satisfactory abundance. It was long before Lenny admitted to himself that these thrills had anything to do with that puzzling thing called X that people were always talking about. No, this was something rare and exalted, a secret bliss which they alone had discovered, and concerning which they would read no whisper to anyone else. At least that is what Lenny said, and Rosemary smiled a wise, motherly smile, and said, "We dear." They both kept the secret. And when the time came for Lenny to go back to town, the girl told him it would be just you alone. "My mother is talking about the Riviera for next winter," she said. "We'll write to each other, and surely not forget how happy we've been." Lenny answered, "I'll think of it every time I listen to music or play it. And it will be often." One other adventure before the boy left at Green and Pleasant Land. Kurt had gone up to London to meet his uncle's friends. Rick had to do some studying. Owing to his preoccupation with the arts, he had failed in his mathematics and had to stand an examination in the fall. Lenny read for a while, and then went for a walk. It was delightful country, with a great variety of prospects. The landowners had a right to bar you from their property, but they generally didn't, and there were lanes and footpaths, with stiles over the fences, and little dells with streams running through them. Summer was at its height. The sun, not having long to stay, did its best by shining for long hours, and the green things made the most of their opportunity, crowding to the light. A very different world from Florence. Greener trees, and landscapes more intimate and friendly, warmer to the heart if not to the thermometer. Lenny rambled, turning wherever he saw anything that interested him, and not caring where he went. He knew the names of villages near the reaches, and anybody could tell him the way. When it was time to go back, he trusted to luck. He found himself on the edge of a patch of woodland, with a fence as you enter, and a stile to enable you to step over it. He sat there to rest, and saw a figure moving on another path, which crossed was at the farther edge of the patch of woods. It was a girl, and Lenny couldn't see clearly, but it appeared that she was carrying something over her shoulder. Then, as he watched, she suddenly disappeared and he didn't see her again. He was puzzled, because there seemed to be no drop in the ground. Could it be that the girl had fallen? His curiosity was aroused, and he climbed over the stile and went toward the place. Sure enough, there was the girl lying flat on the ground, and a sack of turnips, some of them having spilled out when she fell. Lenny ran toward her, and saw that she was about of his own age, barefooted, wearing a torn and dirty old skirt and blouse. Her hair hadn't been combed, and she was far from prepossessing. It looked as if she had fainted. Anyhow, there she lay, and Lenny noticed that her skin was bloodless and that she was emaciated to a painful degree. He might have decided that she was drunk, but instead he guessed that she hadn't had enough to eat. He had heard somewhere that when people fainted you dashed cold water in their faces and slapped their hands. He tried the latter, but perhaps didn't put enough energy into it. He looked and saw buildings some distance beyond the wood, and ran toward them and found a row of cottages close together, of the sort which looked picturesque in old etchings. They might have been as old as Queen Anne, or as Elizabeth. They had low thatched roofs, small windows, and doorways not quite regular, and so low that even Lenny had to bend his head to enter. He saw a woman in front of them and ran to her, calling that there was a girl lying out there on the ground. The woman was tousle-headed and red-faced, and she said, "Billy, he'll be that Higgs Jowl, over third," and pointed to one of the cottages. Lenny ran to the place and knocked on the door. It was opened after a while by a woman with straggly hair and only 3 teeth visible. The English poor, whenever they had a toothache, simply pulled the tooth out. No doubt many a woman who looked like this one had been hanged or burned for a witch. "It'll be match," she said, with no great excitement. She got him some water in the pail, and he went running with it. By dint of throwing handfuls in the girl's face, he got her eyes open by the time the woman arrived. They lifted her to her feet, and the woman helped her to the cottage, while Lenny lugged the turnips. Stooping under the doorway, they laid the girl on the bed, which consisted of a mattress stuffed with straw and a board frame. The girl's skin was transparent and looked like wax. She closed her eyes, and Lenny couldn't be sure whether she had fainted again or not. "Hadn't you better give her something to eat?" he asked. And the reply was, "Here's milk in the house." Does it bewilder him? "What do you do?" he demanded, and the woman said, "Billy, the man will bring some when he comes, for life." That didn't satisfy this good Samaritan. He wanted to know if there wasn't some place where he could purchase food, and the woman told him where to find a shop. It proved to be a miserable place, with suspect peppermints and gumdrops in the window. He bought a loaf of bread, a tin of beans, and a rusty one of salmon, his guess at a balanced diet. When he got back to the cottage, he found that there was no tin opener, and he had to break into the tins with a knife and a block of wood. When he put the food before the girl, she wolfed like a famished animal, leaving only part of the bread. Lenny looked about him. He had read a poem called The Qatar Saturday Night. He hadn't been quite sure what the Qatar was, but now he was in the home of one. It didn't bear much resemblance to the poem. A dark-colored clay had been stuffed into chinks of the walls, and the floor was of planks, very old and boring. The fireplace was black with the smoke of ages. There was another bed like the one the girl was lying on, and a table apparently knocked together by amateur hands, and 3 stools, each with 3 peg legs. There was also a row of shelves with a few pans and dishes, and some ancient clothing hanging on the walls, and a water bucket on the floor. That was about all. One place on the floor was wet, and the woman saw Larry's eyes resting upon it. "'Tis the roof," said she. The blurry landlord wanted had it fixed. Lenny asked who was her landlord, and the reply was, "Dear Alfred." He gave the boy a start. "Dear Alfred Pomeroy Nielsen?" The woman answered, He's the stingy one. He'll do no for you, not if the house was to blow down." P.I. So Lenny had something to think about on a short walk to the reaches. He wasn't sure if he ought to mention the matter to his hosts, but he decided that they'd be apt to hear about it, and would think it unnatural that he had kept silence. Lenny went to Rick and told him. Good old Rick, who never got embarrassed about anything. Rick said, "'Tis that good-for-nothing old laborer, Higgs. He's a sot that spends every penny he can get his hands on for drink. What can you do for such a family?" The Peter's been talking of getting rid of him for a long time, and he should have done it. Rick added that he'd tell his father. But he didn't invite Lenny to the conference. Lenny had an uncomfortable feeling, as if he had opened a closed door and a family skeleton had tumbled out. The Pomeroy Nielsens thanked him for his good deed, and Rick took the trouble to explain matters further. The land on which those cottages stood belonged to the family, but the tenants worked for other people. Most of them are behind with their rent, said Rick, because the Peters reluctant to press them as other landlords do. The old tenants are nothing but a nuisance, and he has often thought of raising them and plowing the land. The son of the family added, with one of his dry smiles, that of course they wouldn't go very far toward solving the housing question. But you couldn't expect a man to be an authority on both art and economics. Lady Pomeroy Nielsen was a stoutish, motherly person who looked after the boys and made them change their shoes when they got wet. She was kind, and told Lenny that she would take the poor child a basket of food. "I fear it won't do much good," she added, "and I'll guess as I stay and see it eaten. The Higgs is a rough fellow, and he'll take anything he can get his hands on and sell it for a drink." Rick discussed with his guests the problem of poverty in England's green and pleasant land. He declared that when human beings got below a certain level, it was very difficult to help them. Drink and drugs took the place of food and they finished themselves off. Lenny said his father had explained that to him, but he had thought it applied only to city slums. It had never occurred to him that there might be slums in the country. Rick said there could be a little difference between country and city. If there was an oversupply of labor in one, it shifted immediately to the other. In the hot picking season, hundreds of thousands of people from London's East End spread out over the country looking for work, and if they found conditions a bit better on the land, some of them would stay. It was an insoluble problem as Rick, and Rick's father, and Landy's father agreed. But all the same, Landy couldn't forget the feel of the pitiful thin body that he had lifted, the waxen skin, and the frantic look in the girl's eyes when food was held out to her. Nor could he drive from his mind the impolite thought that, if he were an English-landed gentleman, he would have his lovely green lawn a trifle less perfectly manicured, and spend the money on keeping the roofs of his cottages in repair. PII. There had come a cablegram from Robbie. He was sailing from New York on the Lusitania, and would be at the Hotel Cecil on a certain day. Of course, the summons from Robbie took precedence over all other affairs. Landy went to town the night before, and telephoned the steamship office to find out what hour the steamer was due. The boy was sitting in the lobby, reading a book, but looking up every few minutes, and when the familiar sturdy figure appeared in the doorway, he sprang up to welcome his father. It was a hot July morning, and perspiration glistened on Robbie's forehead, but he looked well and vigorous as always, and everything he wore was fresh and spotless. It had been 4 or 5 months since his last trip, and they had a lot of news to swap. At lunch, Landy told about Greece and Africa, and the scene on board the Bluebird. Then he told about his adventures in the slums of London and the Berkshire. The father said, "That's the curse of England. The most depressing thing I ever saw in my life was the people of London slums spread out on Hampstead Heath on a bank holiday. Men and women lying together on the ground in broad daylight." Robbie Budd had come on an interesting errand. The firm had completed a new gun on high-angle mountings, to be used for protection against airplanes. The season's bestseller in the armaments trade, he predicted. It would mean another battle with his hair off, because Vickers already had won, but it wasn't nearly so good and couldn't be fired so fast. Ray, we going to wipe him out? Asked the boy eagerly. And Robbie said they would if there was such a thing as justice in the world. He said this with one of his boyish grins, and added his fear that there wouldn't be any in England for months. They made themselves comfortable in their suite. Robbie got a bottle of whiskey out of his suitcase, and ordered soda, and he said London hotels were quite American now, and ice was one of the signs. For Lenny, there was ginger beer, the father having asked him to wait many years before he touched liquor, or smoke, or learned to play. He said he wished he had waited longer himself. Lenny was interested to know in how many ways parents expected their children to go right within themselves. Robbie telephoned the manager of Bud's London office, and while waiting for him to arrive, they talked about the English and their empire. Lenny knew the country now and took a personal interest in it, but he found that his father didn't share his enthusiasm. Robbie had been in business competition with the English, which was different from being a guest in their well-conducted homes. They are sharp traders, he said, envy, that's all right, but what gets your goat is the mask of righteousness they put on. Nobody else sells armaments for the love of Jesus Christ.
I think I'm going in.
Was run by a little group of insiders in the city financial district. There are no harder-fisted traders anywhere. Power for themselves is what they are out for, and they'll destroy the rest of the world to get and keep it. Lenny had got the impression that they weren't Americans. But Robbie said, also, all that talk about ends across the sea, don't let it fool you for a moment. They're jealous of us, and the best thing they can think of about us is that we're 3,000 miles away. Lenny told about a talk with Sir Alfred, in which the government had declared the great amount of graft in American political life, and had expressed satisfaction because they had nothing of the sort in Britain.
Butter golem,
We
rubber
have a lot
slug.
more, said the munitions salesman, and now why they call it like white names. In our country, when the political bosses want to fill their campaign chest, they put up some rich man who
Butter golem.
they call him, he pays the bills and gets elected for a term of years.
Stockholm
Syndrome.
syndrome.
Pays
Oh
a much
boy.
bigger sum into the party campaign chest, and he's made a marquis or a lord, and he and his descendants will govern the empire forever. After
Good to be on your
corruption,
team.
That's ability. You can see the effect of such a system in the armaments industry. Robbie went on to explain.
Ouch.
And he didn't have to do any
The
guessing.
nerve
He
of
just
some
watched the
people.
machinery working. He came to England with a better gun than Vickers is making. But will the British Empire get that gun? I'm going to do my best, but I'll make a private wager that it'll be the Germans who come across first. The reason is Neroff and his associates. They're the best blood, so-called, in England. On the board of Vickers are 4 marquises and dukes, 20 knights, and 50 viscounts and barons.
Stockholm
The
syndrome.
Empire will do exactly what they
Okay.
saw, and there won't be any left involved. PII. Robbie wrote about his important affairs, while Lanny wanted to know the pictures in the National Gallery. Also, he met Fritz
Ouch.
Cole, a stout and florid gentleman who told him about rubber plantations in the Dutch East Indies, and took him to lunch at a place where they could have a listicle. Rick came to town over the weekend, and they went to the opera and concerts, and to a cricket match. They had lunch with Robbie, who was why Lanny had picked 2 such intelligent fellows as friends. He said he would take them to a place that would give them a tour of warplanes and who now being held on Salisbury Lane. Robbie had been invited by an army captain who had to do with his negotiations. The boys were delighted, of course. They had been hearing a lot about
Gonna
the
die.
idea of battles fought in the air. The 4 of them were up early in the morning and took a train for Salisbury, some 80 miles west of London, where Captain
Help
Justin in
me,
the car to
please.
bring them to the camp. They
Go
spent the whole day
kill.
wandering about seeing the sights. The Royal Flying Corps had put up
Yeah,
sheds
this
for
is-
70 planes, and most of them were in the air lined up on the field, a spectacle the like which had never before been seen.
Die.
The
Die,
officers,
you
of
mistake.
course, were proud of the enterprise
Die.
of their food. The largest and newest of the machines was a Farta, and an MWD mechanical cow. It was a frail-looking structure, a biplane spreading nearly 40 feet across, the wing frames of light spruce and the surface of canvas, well-coated and waterproof. The flyer sat in the open, and of course a mighty gale blew when he was in the air, so he was not
Oh, my best neck
Service expected
destroyed.
information as to enemy troop movements and the position of artillery. Some planes were provided with wireless sets, others with photographic apparatus.
Will you stop that
For he also had a
nonsense?
revolvers with which to defend himself. For he might have an explosive bomb attached to the wire cable, he had to be able to get above an enemy and run the cable over him. Many planes were diving and swooping, acquiring immediate skill. Some were learning a new art called lying in formation, others were practicing dropping objects upon stationary targets. The visitors watched them until their eyes aged, and backs of their necks. Every now and then a new plane would
I'm
fall,
gonna die.
and the
Help.
moment they left the ground always came to the beholder as a fresh miracle. Man's dream of ages realized.
Help, help, help me. Please save me. No, don't help.
Who of course made it a matter of time to
Anything
take care of all
say.
the day's work. Going up was no miracle to them, and flying around was, to tell the truth, a good deal of a bore once you got the hang of it. One place in the sky was exactly like another. It was no more exciting
You
than
guys are
flying.
ganging up on me.
They were
It's
practicing night
bullyism.
training, they admitted, was something that kept you awake. Also, they were very proud because they had succeeded in looping the loop in a biplane for the first time in history. It was interesting to see the effect of all this upon his English friend. Eric David Carl Nielsen, young man of the world who showed the sophistication whose motto was Il Admirari, was
The
stuck
bunny,
out with the
yep.
idea of military aviation. He remarked to Landy's fond of it after all England was as backward as the Americans might have thought. He began asking technical questions of Captain Finchley and the flyers. He wanted to know if it would
It's
be
Van
possible to
Hose me
fly
down.
the plane, and they told
I
him
feel
that
like
the
this
Dutch
is
were
so
trying
rude,
it,
man.
and it would be a fight to put a man on his medal.
Because, I mean, you really haven't been
A surprising
the
remark
most
from the youth
obnoxious
to speak of Army men as Ron Woodites.
this
Captain
morning.
Fisher was pleased by this enthusiasm.
You have
He
not
should always
hosed
felt
me
that way.
as you oft times have done.
Is a cause of deep concern to all friends of the Empire. Robbie took the occasion to speak
But
about
the bunny
effect
has
this new kind
hosted.
of warfare was done to upon the
I
position of
can't
England.
hit him. What's
It's a part
always
of the
behind
of
the...
island of solitude.
Oh,
Planes
yeah.
were now flying the channel, and the
I
Americans
really
had
need a
used
sight
devices sort of
indicator
hold it
when
once
there's
from
a
the ship.
mountain in between.
It was certain that in the next war bombs would
Hard.
be dropped upon munitions
That
centers and
goes
factories.
high tech
Those
there.
that fired at planes and airships would surely have to be mounted at minor points. Lang understood that his father was giving the sales talk. Captain Finchley was on the board which had to decide about the mud gun with high-angle mountings. Robbie
Are we
told his
winning?
son the previous evening that they were trying to draw him. They wouldn't say they would buy the gun, yet they were obviously worried by the idea of his taking it anywhere else.
Stupid.
Ix. On their way back to town in the evening, the four talked about what they had seen and the likelihood of these dangerous contrivances being actually put to the test. Kurt Meissner was worried by a letter he had received from home.
It's the
The
monster.
situation in the Balkans was more serious than anybody in England seemed to realize. Robbie said, yes, but it was always that way. The English were at easy going people and left problems for others to solve as much as possible. This was just one more crisis.
It's a bot.
Before anybody else expect the Austrians to let Serbian hooligans incite the murder of Austrian rulers on Austrian soil. The diplomats will get together and stop it. Robbie told them soon. Nothing to worry about. It is said that the Russians are backing the Serbs. No. They're always shoving one another about. The Russians say, let my Serbian friends alone. The Germans say, let my Austrian friends alone. The French say, let my Russian friends have me, so it goes. They've been making faces at one another for hundreds of years. No, Mr. But they've been going to war, too. The world has been changing so fast that it no longer pays to go to war. Sure. The nations couldn't finance a war. It would bankrupt them all. Argued Kurt, and people get angry enough, they don't stop to calculate. The masses don't, but they don't have to say any more. It's the financiers who decide, and they're first-class calculators. What's happened is, we've made weapons so destructive that nobody dares use them. Just to have them is enough. Robbie paused for a moment, and smiled. Did I ever tell you about his meeting with Zaroff? The old man was worried by the thought that his armaments might someday be put to use. I suggested to him that the ideal of civilization was to spend all our energies making things we never meant to use. Robbie chuckled, and they all chuckled with him, though a bit dubiously. A few days later, Lanning set out for France to join his mother, and Robbie was packing up his bug gun, preparatory to taking it to Germany, in an effort to wake the British Hubers, so he confided to his son. On that day, King George was relieving the might of the British Navy off Spithead. His flagship was the Iron
Messi,
Duke,
Soler,
a treasure
Ronaldo,
that could shoot
under
away
fire, Granny,
$10,000
and
in a single bullet.
Jacaranda.
Included in its armament were two 12-pounder guns with high-angle mountings against airplanes.
Buddies.
On that day, it was the
Wow.
20th of July 1914. 10. La Belle France. I. Mrs. Emily Chattersworth was the widow of a New York banker who had once held great power, controlling railroads and trust companies and whatnot. He had become involved in some congressional investigation that had been a long time ago, and nobody remembered just what it was, but the newspapers had exhibited bad manners, and the banker had decided that his native land was lacking in refinement. His widow had inherited his fortune and, being still good-looking, was described by Sophie, Baroness de Montserrat, as an island entirely surrounded by French suitors. Perhaps the country's laws regarding the property rights of married women were unsatisfactory to Mrs. Vanderlip. Anyhow, she had remained for years the sole mistress of Les Forties, as her country estate was called. This stage floor was in French Renaissance style, a four-story structure of gray stone, built at the head of a little artificial lake. There was an esplanade in front, resembling the docks of a port, complete with several small lighthouses. When the lights were turned on at night, the effect was impressive. At the front of the house, beyond the entrance drive, was a garden, the central feature of which was a great flower lily made of gold and purple flowers. Surrounding the place were smooth lawns shaded by chestnut trees, and beyond them were dark forests of beeches, for which the place had been named. In them were deer and pheasants, and in the kennels were dogs used for hunting in the fall. Among other interesting things was an orchid house, in which you might examine the strange and costly products of the jungles of South America, for as long as you could stand the moist heat in which they throve. The rooms of the CH tour were splendid, and had tapestries and works of art which connoisseurs came to study. Mrs. Emily knew what she had, and spoke of them with authority. She lived and entertained in the French manner, conducting what was called a salon arduous undertaking, a career all in itself. It meant inviting a number of celebrated men at regular intervals and giving them a chance to air their wit and erudition before others. Each one of these personages was conscious of his own importance, and resentful of the pretended importance of his rivals. To know who could get along with whom, and to reconcile all the vanities and jealousies, took skill and energy enough for a diplomat guarding the fate of nations. Beauty Bud had very few pretensions to wit, and still fewer to erudition, but she possessed a treasure appreciated in any drawing room which was easy to look at. She also possessed a full supply of womanly tact, and was naturally kind, and didn't quarrel with other ladies or try to take away their men. The weaker sex was supposed to do little talking at the salon. As among the fowls, it was the males who displayed the gorgeous plumage and made the loud noises. The company did not break up into groups, as was the custom in English and American drawing rooms.
Let's be Salanda. Thank you.
The other celebrities would say their say, and the function of the hostess was to supervise and shepherd the conversation. The other ladies listened, and did not interrupt unless they were quite sure they had something supremely witty that could be uttered in a sentence or two. Generally they thought of it too late, and for that misfortune the French had a phrase, esprit de l'escalier, that is to say, stare too swift. Of course it was not possible for an American woman, however wealthy, to have a really first-class salon in France. The fashionables and the intellectuals of that land were clannish, and it took a full lifetime to learn the subtleties of their differentiations. There were royalty salons and republican salons, Catholic salons and free-thought salons, literary and art salons, each its own little world, with but slight interests and corners. However, an American who provided a way for her fellow countrymen to meet such Frenchmen as were international-minded, Mrs. Emily, a handsome and stately lady, was conscientious about performing the service. She would give dinner parties, also in the French manner, the hostess sitting midway between the ends of the table, bringing the most important guest directly across from her, and then shading off to persons of least importance, who sat at the ends. There was a French phrase for that too, put on the table. At dinner parties you did not chat with a person on either hand, but listened to those whose importance had been indicated by their seating. One of these was privileged to hold forth for a few minutes on any subject, and then he was expected to let the hostess indicate another performer. A cultivated people had been centuries evolving this routine, and
You're on the
was
file,
extremely
right?
important. Aye. There wasn't much place for children and less for TS, and they were rarely invited. But Mrs. Emily had met Lenny on the Riviera, and knew that he could be counted upon to like his food before treading the heavy red velvet carpets which covered the entrance hall part of the central stairway. He would stand for a long time looking at a painting in silence, and if he asked a question it would be an intelligent one. He never interrupted the conversation of his elders, and had listened to so many conversations that he was almost an elder himself. Mrs. Emily had suggested to Beauty that he might come and stay until they both were ready to return to Les Pians. So here was Lenny, playing tennis with the children of the store he managed via safe, swimming in the lake, riding refined, high-strung horses, playing not too loudly upon a songless piano, and reading in the library where a fellow in black glass scholar had spent a lifetime cataloging and watching over treasures. Here was a person worth listening to, and glad to have an audience. A week with interview meant as much to Lenny Bud as a term in college. The old gentleman helped Julian with Robert Close, making known to him the writers of whom he could find out about other writers. It was like giving him a map of the forests, so that he could go out and explore for himself. Another educational influence was Mrs. Emily's mother, who was history. She had been at Baltimore Belle, and told how beautiful she used to be and how the beaux had swarmed about her. Now she was in her mid-70s, and had lovely golden curls which looked quite natural. Lenny was surprised when his mother
Yo,
told
what's
him how
up?
the sprightly little maid had blocked with laughter and thrown her curls into a plate of soup.
TJS.
She was painted all pink and white over the maid nipples, and was automatically driven to exercise charm upon anything that came along in trousers.
It's too small. I got my window down too small. What's up?
How her daughter Emily had been born amid the sounds of battle. The 5th New York Regiment,
Yeah,
marching through Baltimore on its way
have
to
you
defend
got,
Washington at the
hold
outbreak
on,
of
let
the
me
American
see,
Civil War, and fired upon the citizens. That fixes her age at 53, so she doesn't like it.
You gotta add me.
And you must keep it a secret.
I
But
think,
Emily herself won't be able to keep it much longer unless she consents to dye her hair.
with that code, and I gotta go out to get an invite, so it's gonna have to be after this round. But I'll look for you. Can you tell me what your ID and name is, so I'll know if it's you?
Lenny was moved to tell how yesterday he had heard Prince Snogo remark that Russia ought to bring war on right now, because his country was ready and could never be
Yeah,
so.
but definitely,
The old
everybody
lady
should
looked at
join
the
in.
report and whispered, H, no. Don't let anybody say such a thing. Oh, what did
I'm gonna try to get
Mrs. Sally said he lived to Europe because he was her favorite.
done with
But
this round, and then I'll look for your.
Of course, a half-grown one was not invited to
Invite.
much important dinner parties.
Oh, don't shoot me with that stuff. Always take her under.
In which persons who were on the inside of affairs talked freely.
Take you
Meanwhile,
under.
those who had
And
right
Jack
to-
Randa.
There was a
Jack
Russian military
Randa.
mission in Paris, and the famous general, Prince Skobokov.
You're gonna wish you was Randa.
He found time to motor out in Tahiti, even in his fellow crisis. Also, the French Senator Nicolas, who said, in American poker language, Germany is trying to use Austria to bluff Russia, and this will go
I'm
on
sorry.
unless we fall in love.
Oh, Wanderlust,
Prince
man.
Constantine,
Thank you.
Your official information is that Austria is unprepared
Man, that-
and will prove a weak ally. Lenny listened and thought that he didn't like these two old men.
That heavy machine gun
The Russian
upgrade was,
response,
man,
red
that was
face
worth it.
and tightly laced up, and spoke French explosively. The senator was bald-headed and fleshy, with a white imperial that wrangled somewhat absurdly. He was an ardent Catholic, and fought for his church party in the Senate, so that he didn't seem religious, but rather a little known plotting dreadful things. Lenny recollected the beautiful Austrian country through which he had passed, the mountain cottages that speak loose to shed the snow, and the kings with fancy bearded sons. He thought of Kurt Meister and his brothers who were in the German army. Kurt was to come to Paris in a few days, to meet his other uncle and return home with him. Lenny had thought of having him invited to Les Fortiers, but decided that it wouldn't do, with people voicing opinions like these. Mrs. Annalie had thrown Bernstein open for a charity bazaar, and booths had been set up, decorated, bunting in huge quantities of flowers. Everybody donated things to be sold, and the crowd cleanly bought them. It appeared that there were vast numbers of persons who had money enough
It's
to
bacon baron.
but didn't get into the right society.
You know I don't want no bacon up here with my
Not
dream
merely to
behind.
look like a rat, as the inner school was called, but even just speak to them. It was
It's
a
not
clear honest
kosher.
weaknesses of human nature to a useful purpose. There were average branches in Paris, too, and the poor who lived in them sometimes fell ill and had to be cared for in hospitals, and this was the established way to raise the money. The most hungry of the great ladies of society offered themselves as bait, duchesses and countesses of gold nobility putting themselves on exhibition, and you might have the honor of addressing them. But you were to expect to have a chieftain, for the prices were graded according to those laws of precedence which ruled big dinner parties. A cousin of the Russian seller was in charge of looking where Mrs. Annalie's organs were sold, and for the bonus of them you would have preferred a 40 franc note, or $20 American. Along with it you would get a charming smile from a regal person, and if you paid double the price asked, she might even hold out a hand for each list. This was like a debut party for Lanny. He was to act as a sort of page, and run errands for the ladies, and he had on long trousers for the first tea and neat white linen suit made especially for the occasion. He felt extremely self-conscious, but knew he mustn't show it. He strolled out the soft green ones and was introduced to many persons, and made himself helpful in every way he could think of. The grounds presented a gay picture. So many ladies with striking parasols and hats full of flowers and feathers and even holders. Beauty was selling little bouquets, as she had done in London. She was noted with a pale yellow taffeta embroidered with
Oh,
large
child, I'm
fingers.
gonna die.
The
Stop
size
shooting at
belonged
me,
to the
please.
And the skirt of soft white muslin.
Please don't kill me.
Elbow was sleeved short. Beauty made her of her numerous charms was in a state of exaltation, as always when there were many people about and she knew they were admiring her. She had a smile for everybody, and a happy greeting,
Man, I'm done.
especially for gentlemen whom she discovered without a tawny ray. She would extend
Why
out
y'all
something
gotta do me like
saying,
that?
"Less powers." When they asked the price, she would say, "How long you have?" And when they handed her a 10 franc note, she would thank them soulfully, and they were to forget about the change, because she didn't have any. Harry Murchison was there, following her everywhere with his eyes. He was a fair mark for the ladies, for he was known as a rich American, and handsome. They lured him to the booths, and he would buy whatever they offered, and then take it to another booth to be sold again by ladies equally charming. They made a game out of the whole thing that could be nothing but that, of course, because there were
Good.
persons here who
My
had
shield
their
got
hostilities
taken
for all
out
the whole
without
of the
me
they
getting
wanted.
killed.
But what they wanted was to dress up and display themselves. They sat at little tables and had
Man,
Mrs.
just
Emily's
to put
uniform
another
serving
shield up.
3 little cakes. They sit and giggled while they chatted, and paid double prices for what they got.
I think
And
y'all
there were
food.
8 tips. These also went for less powers. IV. A day or two later, there was a more exclusive tea party. Mrs. Emily's
Oh,
friends
no,
were
it's
invited
Bacon
to the famous
Baron.
waiter. He was no stranger to Lanny Buck, because he had a villa at Antics, and came to often, when now wearing little brown soldiers
Gotcha.
of silk or velvet, always of a bright color, and always different must have had 100 of them. He was an old gentleman, tall and thin, with a large head and a long face, like a horse's. His name was Poe, but he went by his name and to occurrence. Everybody talked about his books, but Lanny had got the impression that they were not for the young. Now he came in a blue velvet
It's
coat
weird
and a
how
large
when you
hat.
think you're doing bad,
He descended slowly from
sometimes
the
you're
motor car
doing
and was
good.
escorted to the shade of a great
And
chestnut
when you
tree.
think you're doing good,
Once he was
sometimes
seated
you're
in
like
the long
doing
chair,
really
all
bad.
the ladies and gentlemen brought their chairs where they could sit and look and listen. As soon as he got started, everyone else was silent. They had come to hear him, and he knew it, and they knew it, and he knew that they knew it.
Oh, you
and
can't.
So on. Had he rehearsed in his mind what he was going to say?
You want me to
Very
stop the
probably.
music? I can bring the music down.
He poured
Oh.
out for them a stream of ironic remarks, in an even tone, with a serious mien except for a twinkle in the bright old eyes. Now and then he would put his fingers together in front of him, and move them as if he were telling off the points in his mind. Most
All
of his
right,
talk
let
was
me
too
go
silent for
ahead
a
and
youngster.
see if I can add.
M. Prince had read everything that was old, and his mind was a storehouse of anecdotes and allusions to
C.
history, religion, and art. It was as if you were wandering through a museum so crowded that you hardly had room to move or time to see anything properly. Possibly there was only one person in the company who could understand everything the great man was saying, and that was M. Prideaux, the pale, ascetic librarian, who stood humbly on the outskirts and was not introduced. Lenny thought there was pain in his face, he being a rebel scholar, whereas M. France made mockery of everything he touched.
Get some fun.
Somebody started to ask him a question beginning, do you think? And he answered quickly, I'm
All
trying
right,
to
we
cure
about to
myself of
see
the
you
habit
up
of
in
thinking,
here.
which is a great infirmity. May God preserve you from it, as he has preserved his greatest saints, and those whom he loves and destines to eternal felicity. Sooner or
Control
later, the
V.
conversation of French ladies and gentlemen was apt to turn to the subject of love. On this also it appeared that
K
the elderly
lose
author was
B.
skeptical.
Accept.
A saucy young lady asked him something about love in South America, and he made a laughing reply, and the
All right,
company was
all right.
vastly amused.
So you
Lenny
want to
didn't understand
create
it,
a?
but afterward he gathered
Are
that
we
M. Prince
friends
had once
now?
taken a lecture trip to the Argentine, and on the steamer
Guess
had
so.
met a young actress. He had traveled with her, introducing her as his wife. Later, when he returned to France, he did not want her as a wife, but the young lady was disposed to insist, and there resulted a considerable scandal.
Man, I need to
Also,
remove
Lanny
so
heard
many
about the
of
wealthy
these
lady of
people
Paris
because
believed
I,
this
you
story had
know,
caused
it's
great
like,
distress. Madame
unfortunately,
Michaela was her
we
name,
just don't
and she was
connect.
credited with having made the fame
I
and
never
fortune
see
Anatole
these
France,
guys in
setting up a
combat.
salon for the display of his talents and driving this most indolent person to the task
And
of
the
writing
ones that
books.
I want to have
She and
for
her husband had
friends are
maintained with
not.
France the relationship known as La Vitre's life in threes
Showing
instead
up.
of pairs. No one had objected to that, but the Argentine actress had made 4, and everyone considered her betrothed. Madame Michaela was dead now, so Anatole France no longer had a salon.
I don't want any
Perhaps
of
that
these
was why it
people.
was possible for
This
an
is
American
squad
hostess to lure him to a
droppers,
tea party.
and this is a squad
After he had
dropper.
taken his departure, they all gossiped about him, saying as many malicious things as he himself had said about Cicero, Cleopatra, Saint Cyprian, Joan of Arc, King Louis XV, the Empress Catherine of Russia, and many other personages of history whom he had quoted. However, all agreed that he was an extremely diverting person. They had been so well entertained that for 2 hours they had forgotten the disturbing news that the Austrian government had delivered to the Serbian government an ultimatum which practically required the abdication of the latter and the taking over of its police functions by Austrian officials. V. Beauty went motoring with Harry Murchison. She was gone all day and came
All right,
back looking
I
flushed and
got
happy,
you.
and Lenny went to the room to
Let's
chat.
see.
They would have little snatches like that which would tell him where she had been, and the nice things that Princess and Ambassador that had said to her. But this time she wanted to talk about Harry. He was such an obliging and generous fellow, and his family in Pennsylvania was
I
a
don't know
very
how
old
to
one.
do this, man.
He had an ancestor who had been a member of the First Continental Congress. Harry liked Lanny very much, calling him the best-mannered boy he had ever met. But he thought it was too bad for him not to have a chance to know his own country. That's what Mr. Hackaberry said, too, remarked the boy. But Beauty didn't want to talk about soap just then. She was interested in plate glass. Elmy, she persisted. Oh, you really like him? Hi, yes, I think he's alright. Lanny was a bit reserved. But then came a knockout. Oh, would you feel if I was to marry him? The boy would have had to be a highly trained diplomat to hide the dismay which smote him. The blood mounted to his cheeks, and he stared at his mother until she dropped her eyes. Beauty, he exclaimed. About Marcel?
Okay, start.
Sit here by me, dear, she said.
All right, we're
It's not
in.
easy to explain such things to one so young.
I really appreciate
Marcel
you
has
getting
never
on
expected to marry me. He has no money and he knows that I have none. But I don't understand.
TGS Gamer
Would Robbie
LOL.
stop giving you money if you marry? Oh,
And
dear,
you
I don't mean
are.
that.
Yeah.
But I can always live on what Robbie gives me. But
Now,
I'm
if
not.
you
Beauty, aren't we getting along all right? You don't know
if you've
about
been
my
watching,
affairs.
you know what I do up
I have
in
an
here.
awful lot of debts. They drive me
quite
to
open.
distraction.
I think it's interesting when people start noticing what I'm doing and try to counter
I
it.
can shut myself up like that. Then I'm just not made for it. I have to give up all my friends. I couldn't travel anywhere. I couldn't entertain. And you wouldn't have any education. You wouldn't see the world as
Oh,
you've been doing.
this guy's so it's got a
H,
surge.
please don't do it on my account. The boy broke in.
Yeah.
De'd be perfectly happy to stay home and read books and play the piano. You think you would, dear. But that's because you don't know enough about life. People like us have to have money and opportunity, so many things you will find that you want. If I do, I can go to work and get them for myself, can I? Beauty didn't answer. For of course that wasn't the real point. She was thinking about what
This
she
is-
herself wanted right now.
Yeah,
After
I
a while,
said
Lanny
I thought it
ventured
said
in
it
a
was
low voice.
searching for
Arsenal would be
players,
so
but it
unhappy.
did not.
Arsenal has his art, dear. He's perfectly content to live in a hut and paint pictures all day. There he is, so long as you are there. But doesn't he miss you right now? Were you so fond of him, Lanny? Thought that was what you wanted. The boy burst out. Thought that was the way to be fair to you. He was, dear. And it was sweet. I appreciate it more than I've ever told you. But there are circumstances that I cannot control. There was a pause, and the mother began to talk about Harry Murchison again.
That did
He had
not
been in love
work.
with her for quite a while, and had been begging her to marry him. His love was a true and unselfish one. He was an unusually fine man, and could offer her things that others couldn't, and not merely his money, but protection, and help in managing her affairs, in dealing with other people, who so often took advantage of her trustfulness and her lack of business knowledge. Harry has a lovely home in Pennsylvania, and we can go there to live, or we can travel whichever we please. He's prepared to do everything he can for you. You can go to school if you like, or have a tutor, and you can take Mr. Elphinstone to America with you, if you wish. But Lanny didn't care anything about Mr. Elphinstone. He didn't care anything about America. He loved their home at Juan, the friends he had there, and the things he did there. Elmy, Beauty, he persisted, won't you love Marcel any more? Anyway, she answered. Again she stopped, embarrassed. Has he done something that isn't fair to you? The boy saw the beginning of tears in his mother's eyes. Annie, I don't think it's right for you to take up notions like that, and cross-question me and try to pin me down. I'm only trying to understand, Beauty. You can't understand, because you aren't old enough, and these things are complicated and difficult. It's hard for a woman to know her own heart, to say nothing of trying to explain it to her son. Al, I wish very much that you do what you can, said Lanny, gravely. Something told him that this was a crisis in their lives. And how he wished he could grow up suddenly. And you love two men at the same time, Beauty? That is what I've been asking myself for a long while. Apparently I can. Beauty hadn't intended to make any such confession, but she was in a state of inner turmoil, and it was her nature to blurt things out. My love for Marcel has always been that of a mother. I've thought of him as a helpless child that needed me. Al, doesn't he still need you? And if he does, what is going to become of him? Tears were making their way onto Beauty's tender cheeks. She didn't answer, and Lanny wondered if it was because she had no answer. He was afraid of hurting his mother. But also he was afraid of seeing her hurt Marcel. He had watched them both on the yacht, and impressions of their love had been indelibly graven upon his
Man,
mind.
I'm a noob. See,
Marcel
I
Jordan.
don't know how to
And
do
what would
it,
you do without
man.
her?
That's it.
Tell me this, Beauty, have you told Harry you will marry
With
him?
my half a brain
Oh,
self.
I haven't exactly said that. But he wants me so much. Al, I don't think you ought to make up your mind to such a step in a hurry. If it's debts, you ought to talk to Robbie about them. H, no, Lenny. I promised him I wouldn't have any debts. Al, don't you think you ought to wait and talk to Marcel at least? Lenny was growing up rapidly in the face of this crisis. H, I can do
TJS
that.
Gamer, do you know how
What
to
do you
make it
expect to
work
do?
right? Because
Just
if you
walk off and
do,
leave him?
go ahead
Would
and
that
make
be
a
fair?
match and
Really?
invite me to
It
it,
seems to
and
me
I
it would
will
be
wait.
dreadfully unkind. His mother was staring
'Cause
at
I
him,
needs to
greatly
learn.
disconcerted. Annie, you oughtn't to talk to me like that. I'm your mother.
Oh, wait.
You're the best mother in the world, declared the boy, with ardor. But I don't want to see you do something that'll make us all unhappy. Please,
See, I don't know what
Beauty,
I'm doing.
don't promise Harry till we've had time to think about it. Someday you may see
Maybe
him
I
making
should
some
read the
mistake,
instruction
and then you'll be begging
booklet.
him to wait.
Of this
Beauty
game,
began sobbing.
which I have not done.
H, Lenny, I'm in such an awful mess.
Oh,
Harry
and
will
my,
be so upset
my
I've kept
dang
him waiting too
stream has
long.
died.
Let him wait, all the
What
same.
next?
He insisted. He found himself suddenly taking the position of head of the family. He just can't decide such a thing all at once. Then, after a pause, Al, does Harry know about Marcel? Yes, he knows, of course. But does he know how serious it is?
It's where
He
B.
doesn't care, Lenny. He's in love with me. Al, he oughtn't to be pleased. I mean, he oughtn't try to take you away from us. V.I. Lenny Budd, in the middle of his 50th year, had to sit down and figure out this complicated man of the
Miss
business.
Pencil.
He had been collecting data from various persons over a large section of Europe. They had left him to find out about it in his own way. They had forced it upon him. Aaron Lyons,
My darling.
Dr. Bauer Siemens, the
What
Social
light
Democratic
from
editor,
yon
Beauty, Marcel
control
Harry,
point
and
breaks.
Esther Heckleberry, Miss Nobby's and Rosemary,
Tis the
Sophie
east.
Lover Lanny had seen
And this
embracing
pencil
the
is the
of
gun.
MRS. Emily, who had a leading furniture critic
She
as her
didn't
aunt,
shoot at me.
old Empress, and
You
his
like
Madame
me?
Michaela and his Argentine actress, to say nothing of his jokes about the leading ladies and
What
gentlemen of
made you
history.
hesitate?
Rather horrid persons, some of them. Jean Louis Exby had said to one of his courtiers that a woman was the same as another, only first she must be bathed and then have her teeth attended to. In this world into which
Miss
Lenny Budd had
Pencil,
been born,
Miss Pencil,
love was
let's
a game which
talk.
people played for
Nope.
their amusement.
Thumper killed me
Past
from
time
behind
without
while I
seeing
was
London Bridge or back
enraptured by
around,
your
horse racing or
hypnotic
polo.
gaze, girl.
It was, incidentally, a duel between men and women, in which each tried to achieve prestige in the eyes of the other. That was what the salons were for, the dinner parties, the fashionable clothes, the fine
You
houses,
get around
the
your
good
side.
wine.
Come on. Yeah.
Lenny couldn't have formulated that,
Futon
but he observed the
Sands
facts,
guy. I
and
was
this time
looking
a
at you.
understanding came to him.
I'm coming back.
Concealment was an
You
important
just
aspect
watch.
of nearly all love, as Lanny had observed it.
Man, I
He
hate it
seemed
when
to
you
indicate
take
that many
that
people
control
disapproved
point.
of
That's
the
my
practice of church
favorite
people. For
control
example,
point, man. That's my
he had never
spot.
been to church, except for a fashionable wedding,
Ruin
or
me.
to look at stained glass windows and architecture. But he knew that many society people professed to be religious, and now and then they repented of their love affairs and became actively pious. This was one of the most familiar aspects of life in France, and in French fiction. Sophie's mother-in-law, an early lady of the golden nobility with a worthless and dissipated son, lived alone, wore black, kept herself surrounded by priests and nuns, and prayed day and night for the soul of the prodigals.
Oh,
Of course,
Miss
there were married
Pencil.
persons who managed to stay together and raise
y'all are
families.
in cahoots, I
Robbie was
think.
apparently that sort. He never went after women, so far as Lanny had heard. But he seldom referred to his family in Connecticut,
Miss
so it hardly
Pencil, you
existed for the boy.
just so.
Apparently the Pomeroy Nielsen's also got along with each other. But Lanny had heard so much of extramarital adventures, he somehow took it for granted that if you came to know a person well enough, you'd find some hidden affair. The fashionable people had a code under which they did what they pleased, and he had never heard any of them question his right. But evidently the outside world did question it, and that seemed to put the fashionable ones in a trying position. They had always been against a thing called scandal. Lanny had commented upon this today, to explain that scandal was having an affair get into newspapers. Because of the libel laws. this
Okay,
would happen
okay.
only if it
You
was dragged
invite
into
me,
court.
because I don't know how to
In
work
English
it.
country houses, everybody would know that Lord
Yeah,
Black and
my
Lady White were
God.
lovers, and all hostesses would put them in adjoining rooms.
I had
But
never
not a word would
read
be
the
said about it,
instructions.
except among the other people, and it
I
was
just
an
hit
unforgivable
buttons,
offense to betray
you
another
know,
person's
it's
love affair or
kind of
anything that would bring publicity upon it. Lanny had been
Oh,
officially
no,
taught the
see my
acts of life,
internet
and
going
so was
out. Do you
beginning
really
know
wanna
his way
have
out
me?
in society.
Lord.
He had come to know who was whose, so to speak.
Miss
And at
Pencil.
the same time, he knew that he wasn't supposed to know unless the persons themselves allowed him to. There were things he mustn't say to them, and others he must never say to anyone. The persons he met might be doing something very evil, but if there hadn't been scandal, they would be received in society, and it wasn't his privilege to set up a code and try to enforce it. It had never before occurred to Lanny to find any serious fault with his darling Beauty. But now his quick mind could not fail to put two and two together. For years he had been hearing her tell her friends that she refused to aid her twice, and now, how could he keep from believing that she was changing her mind? It was painful to have to face the idea that his adored mother might be selling
Ooh,
herself
we
to a handsome
losing.
young millionaire in order to be able to have her gowns made by Packard or Poirot, and to wear long ropes of genuine pearls as her friend Emily Chattersworth did. He told himself that there must be some reason
Futon
why she
Sam,
was
I
no
got
longer
you.
happy with Marcel.
And Miss
The
Pencil,
only thing he could think of was the painter's efforts to keep her from gambling.
we're going to
and
have to have
from
a
running into debt and
talk.
losing her sleep.
Would you
Lanny
like
had
to have a
decided that
cup of
Marcel was
coffee
right about
over
that.
here at the
He and I
Starbucks?
must go and see Isadora, said Mrs. Enderley.
I would like to have a
And Lenny
word
would
with
like to
you.
go along. Lenny cried, H, thank you. I'd love you more than anything. For years he had been hearing about Isadora, and once he had seen her at a lawn party at Cannes, but he had never had an opportunity to meet her or even to see her dance.
Toad
People raved
Shambo.
about her in such terms that to the boy she was a fabulous being. Harry Murchison telephoned, and when Beauty told him about the proposed trip, he begged to be allowed to drive them. Mrs. Emily gave her consent. It appeared that she was promoting the affair between Harry and Beauty, giving the latter what she considered sensible advice. They set out, Lenny riding in the
Man,
front
I
seat
love
beside the young
Macarena
son of
too.
Plate Glass, who laid himself out to be agreeable. But Lenny was hard
Early
to
in the
please.
morning, playing
He was polite,
Macarena,
but reserved. He knew quite well that he
blowing
wasn't being
them
wooed for his own
down like
beautiful
it really
eyes.
is obscene.
Harry Murchison was well dressed and dignified,
Don't
and had been
you
to college
know
and all
I am
that,
up in
but his best
Macarena?
friend couldn't have claimed that he was a brilliant
Oh,
talker.
wait a minute.
When it
I
came
gotta
to
leave
questions of art and
team.
imagination,
Leave
he would
team.
listen for a while, trying to find something to say that was safe. For example, Harry had seen Isadora donkey
Escape,
dance.
escape,
And what could he say about
escape, escape. You know,
He said
this
that she
is
danced
so
on an empty
annoying.
stage, and with bare feet, and that people in Pittsburgh had considered that decidedly risk. He said that she had an orchestra, and danced
I'm
classical
gonna
music as if
reload.
anybody had imagined her dancing a cakewalk. If you made him search his memory, he might add that she had blue velvet curtains at the back of the stage, and more draperies of different colors according to the music, and that people clapped and shouted and made her come on again and again. But imagine Marcel Tate's talking
My
about
mom
Isadora.
had made me read this
In the
book
first
when I
place,
was
he
little.
would know what was unique in her art,
I
and how it
haven't
was
read it
related to
in
other
years.
dancing. He would know the difference between free gestures and any sort of conventionalized form. He would know the names of the compositions she danced, and what they expressed disappointment, grief, joy of nature, revolt against fate, springtime and awakening, and as Marcel told you about them, he would grieve, rejoice, revolt, or awaken. He would use many gestures. He would make you realize the feat that was being performed on
Kayla
small woman's
Speed.
figure,
How do you say
alone and
that?
without the aid
Kayla
of scenery,
Speed.
embodying the
Alright.
deepest experiences of the human soul. Struck down with grief, lifted up in ecstasy, sweeping across the stage in such a tumult that you felt you were watching a great procession. In short, Landy was all for French temperament, as against American common sense. Of course, plate glass was useful, perhaps even necessary to civilization. But what did Harry Murchison have to do with it, except that he happened to be the grandson of a man who had
Alright,
known
let's
about
win.
it?
Oh, yeah,
Harry got
great.
big
My
dividend
internet
checks, and
connection
would get
going
bigger
on.
ones when his father and mother died.
See, I'm running my
But that was
speed
all.
test and it's saying
Because
my
Cecil
internet
found
is
Pittsburgh
good.
smoky and boring, and had come there in search of culture and beauty. And that
Oh,
was all
lasagna
likely that he'd
love.
find some
That's
other
my
beauty than that
dog.
upon which Lenny and Marcel had staked
I
their
see it
claims.
could be a fat guy that eats
Mrs. Emily in that
lasagna.
scene
I
was
don't
telling
know
about
if
the
it's a
affairs
girl,
of Isadora,
but, you know,
and Lenny turned his head to
since
listen.
it says love,
The
I
dancer
always
was
think
another
of that
person
as
who
a
had been
girl.
experimenting with the sex
And I'm
life.
like, oh my
She was
goodness,
a
he's on my
reluctant to
team.
turn to
Can I
Lenny.
get her
He
autograph?
gathered its meaning to be that she refused to conceal what she did. To find the dreadful thing called Kendall, she had had two children, one by a son of Ellen Terry, the actress, and the other by an American millionaire whom
Prances
she called a
love,
hangman.
man. What are you
The
doing?
smart girl could not overlook such an opportunity
in a
for
while.
entertaining herself, and delighted in his
That's
own
it, Lon.
once offered to have a child by Bernard Shaw,
Thank you.
saying that such a child would have her beauty in his
Awesome.
brains. To which the skeptical playwright had replied, "Of course it should have my beauty in your brains."
Toe beans. Oh, toe beans can give me some headaches.
Won't you practice what you preach?
Oops, see what I mean?
Early in the previous year, a dreadful
He
tragedy
aims
had
and
befallen
stuff.
those two lovely children. They
He
had
put
been
his
left in
sight
the
on
automobile,
you
and apparently the
before
chauffeur
he
had failed
starts
to set the
firing.
brakes properly.
Some
The
people
car
do
had
not.
gone downhill, crashed into a bridge, and plunged into the
You're
Yukon.
like,
The children had been taken out dead. The distracted mother had wandered over Europe,
they just
hardly knowing what she did.
blazing guns like
Now,
way
the
over your
hangman had
left
taken charge of her
shoulder.
and had purchased a great
Like,
hotel
until
named
the whole
Clarence Paris.
magazine is empty.
Isadora was trying to restore herself to life
I
with two
enjoy
other
that.
people's children to do incidentally, so Mrs. Emily revealed, by having another child of her own. The
That's
The
your
Hotel
line.
Bellevue
What's
was a
up?
large place with several hundred rooms. A complex
Thanks.
building, but with lovely gardens sloping to the river.
Do you
and
really
terraces
want
in
to
front
put
of the
your
overhaul
back
of Paris. The dining room had been
to
turned
a-
into the dancing room, and there were Isadora's blue velvet curtains. Tiers of seats
To a
had been built
long
on
arm
each side,
8,
where
a
the
long
people
arm
sat while
10 I
lessons
think I
began
got
on
on
the
this
floor.
guy.
The teachers were the older pupils.
You want to back up
The
to
school
me
had been going for
with
only
your
a few
back?
months, but already they had been able to give a festival at the Tricad Grove and rouse an audience to transports
And I'm
of
on a
delight.
hill?
Isadora Duncan was a not
Oh.
very large woman with abundant dark brown hair.
He was
regular
pointing in my
features,
direction.
a gentle, sad expression,
But
and a figure
hey,
of
I'm
lovely
not
grace and
there.
grace.
You know, is that really
She
helping
had
you
come
to
from
shoot
California,
over there?
unknown and without resources, except her genius, and had created an art which held vast audiences spellbound in all the capitals of
Okay,
Europe and
jungle to
America.
jungle, man. How you
Now,
doing today?
Expecting a baby in a few days, she would step forward to show her troop of children some gesture. She would make a few simple movements against the background of her blue curtains, and something magical would happen. A spirit would be revealed, an intimation of glory. Even reclining on a couch, making motions with arms and hands, Isadora was noble and inspiring. The music
You
of
going
the piano
behind your
sounded, and a group
fence.
of
I know
children
it's
swung
there
into
for a
action,
reason.
eager, alert, radiating joy.
But that reason is
Lenny
not
was
the
only
reason good
beautiful.
enough for me.
It took him back to
I don't
Alabama,
want it.
but it was different, more spontaneous.
Toe
like in the
beans.
basis of drill.
Uh-oh, toe
You know
beans.
who's there was science. But these children caught a spirit in Lenny, too, had that spirit.
Toe beans, I know
He
you
was
want
doing what they were doing.
nucleonize and
He
paper
could hardly keep a
but
seat.
please.
For
That-
dancing was
oh,
not something
good.
they watched. It
Somebody
was something
got
to be
it.
done. Afterward, they had lunch in the garden. The visitors, the teachers, and the children. The Henry was pouring out the smart gallery, and the Lenny placing a sort of artist's habit. The children, boys and girls of all
It's
ages,
Charmed, I'm
wore suits of
sure.
bright colors. They lived on vegetarian foods.
Are you
but
from
it didn't keep them
England,
from having
Charmed,
red
I'm
cheeks
sure?
and eyes.
That's so
They must
English
love
sounding.
Isadora, and for the beauty they were helping
Thank
to
you,
create.
Jungle to Jungle, man.
Lenny
Always,
explained, H, I'd like to clean
always
your
a pleasure
beauty.
to hook up
Do
with
you
people
suppose
that are
Isadora would
on
take me?
my, that have my
She
best
would,
interests
said
at
Beauty.
heart.
Mrs. Emily said she would ask her if they ended. Mrs. Emily had
And he
helped
needs some
Isadora to become
acorns.
known, and the lovely
Uh-oh,
Beauty
it's
had
Toby.
danced more than once on the lawn of
He
the
don't
chestnut
look,
trees and
he
west
don't
forest
look
yes.
happy.
But suddenly Lenny thought, was he free just meant to think about dancing? Didn't
Toe
you have
Beans,
the
you
same
know that
beauty
annoys me
and
when
watched
you
over her
take
and
that
tried to save
particular
Marcel
control
from having this
point. I
happiness
don't like
ruined?
it.
Oh, this accursed sex problem. artists came to Bellevue and sat upon a platform in the center
And
of a hall
also
made
with
sketches
that
of the dancing
scamper,
children.
little
Going on, not
squirrely
far
little
away,
robot.
was the studio of a famous sculptor, August
So
Rodin,
annoying. There you
a
go.
sturdy son of the people with a great spade beard, broad features, and ponderous form. He was an old man now. becoming
I try to
feeble, but he
resist
could
that
still make
tendency to
sketches.
follow them. You know,
He sat near Lanyon. When the dancing was over,
they're on that
the lovely
scamper
Esther
mode and they're
and Lucy had
scampering
such
back and
moments where
forth,
all
and
his
you
work
really
minds
just need to
lived
sit
and moved
still
and
until
brought
they
harmony
step
before the
right
eyes
in
of
front of
1,000
your
shifting
gun.
forms. Lanyon
and
felt
then
that this
pop
old man
'em.
himself had been able to make marble and bronze live and move. He tried to say it, and the sculptor put his big hand on the boy's head and told him to come to the studio soon
Oh,
and see
no!
works which had not yet been given to the world. Driving into Paris, the ladies talked about Rodin, who also was providing evidence
Help.
about the love life. He was getting into his dotage and had fallen prey to an American woman, married to a Frenchman who bore one of the oldest and proudest names in history. That doesn't keep him from being bad
It's my
characters,
honor
said Mrs. Emberley.
To be MVP.
She told how this pair had preyed upon the old artist and got him to sign away much of his
And
precious
I
work.
told you that toe beans,
H,
man. Toe
dear,
beans will
oh,
tear your
dear,
behind up.
exclaimed Beauty Bud. How pitiful creatures men are. She meant before Harry, of course. But Lanning heard it and agreed. People wish to take love as a source of pleasure, but it seemed to bring them torment. The primrose path had thorns in it, and as time passed these thorns became dry and hard and sharper than a serpent's tooth. They came into Paris at the hour when the shops and factories were closing, and the streets swarming with people. The crowds did not seem to be hurrying as usual. They would form groups and stand talking together. The newsboys were shouting everywhere, and the headlines on the papers were big enough so that motorists could read without stopping. La guerre was the gist of them all. Austria had that day declared war upon Serbia. And what was Russia going to do? What would Germany do? And France? And England? People stared at one another, unable to grasp the awful thing that was crashing upon the world. 11.
Okay.
Say La guerre.
I am glad I'm
Beautiful
recording
flowers
my
blooming in the
stream at
garden
the
that was
same
Europe.
time, so if it
They
really
spread
is.
wide petals to the sunshine, trusting the security of the warm and sheltered place. Over them fluttered
Oh,
butterflies,
no. Don't
also
let me
of
screw
scrumptious
up
and
like
delicate
that.
structure, loving the
Oh,
sunlight,
whoa.
floating upon peace
I'm
and
lost.
stillness.
I'm
But suddenly
having
came
a
a tempest, harsh and blind, tearing the fragile wings of butterflies, hurling them against
A
the branches
mental
of trees or into the
decrepit-
sodden ground, ripping the petals off the flowers,
See,
stripping the foliage.
You can see,
leaving their wet
man.
lips to mock the lovers of
I
beauty.
got this thing,
So it
internet
was with Lanning
connection,
Bud during the
lost
next
drop
dreadful
thing
week,
is
and
going
so
on
with
this
all the
morning.
persons
I don't
you
know
knew,
if it's
and
like
the countless
storms
millions
in
of
my
others,
area.
from Lens and to Vladivostok.
Because
From
my
Kharkiv to
local
the Cape of
internet,
Good
I tested it and
Hope.
it's
It was
saying
the
it's
worst week in
good.
the history of European. There were many more to follow. Lenny had been expecting his friend Kurt Weissman in Paris. But several days before had come a letter from Kurt.
Ooh, Stockholm
saying that his father had held out to return home at once, taking the first boat by way of the Hook of Holland. Kurt had been worried, thinking there must be illness in his family.
Taking
But now
full
Lenny understood what had
advantage.
happened. Herr Meissner had known what was coming. In London and Paris one heard many stories about Germans who had received such warnings, and had taken measures for their personal safety or their financial advantage. Here and there one had even passed on a discreet tip to an American friend. Lenny and his mother came to Paris, and Robbie showed up there on the morning after Austria declared war. He would lack advanced information,
God,
be sure.
no.
He said that a salesman of armaments wouldn't have to do any more traveling now. The governments would find him wherever he was. The thing had come which Robbie had said couldn't possibly come. But it didn't take him long to
Got
adjust
you
himself to it.
again.
LL Light, it's what Europe wants. Let them
It's
have it.
chronic.
Buds would continue to turn out products, and anybody could buy them who came with the cash. Somebody had been telling Robbie about Shaw's Major Barbara, so now he talked impressively about Kikri of the Armorer. It was good to have Robbie at hand in a time like this. Self-possessed as ever, a firm rock of counsel,
Finger
also a
Smack
checkbook open
is
to friends
another
in
one
trouble.
I play a lot
He and
with.
Beauty and Lanny settled down to a conference.
Chronic.
And presently Harry Murchison came into it, forcing himself in by taking his problem to Robbie. They had met once before and were on friendly terms, Harry being the sort of
Touche,
fellow Robbie
buddy.
approved.
That was
Hard.
good.
But, said he, don't know why you and Beauty parted, and I'm not interested. But I know you're still her friend, and she listens to you, and I wish you'd give her sensible advice. I want to marry her right no Taudali and take her out of this hell that's starting here. She can have a new life in America. I'll do most anything she asks, give her anything she can think of. As for Lanny, I'll take care of him, or you can I like the boy, and we'll be the best of friends if he'll let me. Surely that's a fair offer. Robbie thought it was. And so the whole situation was forced into the open. Lanny talked to his father, not merely about Marcel, but about Baron Lyons Mazursky, and Dr. Bauer Senior,
Ouch!
and the Hankoberries, and Isadora, and Anatole France, and all the rest.
You are
To
just
make
so,
Robbie
so.
understand
See,
how
I
he
said
was
his
so much
name,
in love,
and now
and why
that's
he was
why
taking it upon himself to keep the French major fingers in his beard and long whistles.
We had some battles
Robbie didn't have
together.
much use for either
And
of them
Stockholm
or
Syndrome
teachers, but he
behind
was
my
very much
behind,
for
taking my
them, and
control
couldn't help being
point.
tickled by the
You know,
soft
I'm
situation.
just
A sensitive,
annoyance.
idealistic kid
My
undertaking
name
the
is
hero of his mother's lover and
annoying.
seeming very likely to get away with it.
Annoying.
It was clear that Beauty was still half in love with her painter. The other half in love with the idea of becoming a respectable American lady, wife of a man who could give her security and position. Which would she choose? Aye. It was a time for showdowns.
Stockholm
In
Syndrome,
and
bro.
empires, human
What's
blunders
up?
of failure shrank to smaller proportions.
Yeah.
Beauty took the scene and told the story so far she had kept from
You
being
can
a
aim at.
She
That's
was looking
cool.
in the eyes and blushed
Brother.
intensely her throat, her cheeks,
You are
her
so
forehead.
cool.
Our father
You want to
and I
get a
had never
cure
been
of that
many.
Stockholm Syndrome,
The story
bro.
of your divorce is
That's
one
a
that I may
bad
have to tell you
disease to
anyway.
have.
I didn't want people to know that you are illegitimate and make it a handicap to your life.
It's messed up.
She rushed on to pour out the details, defending both herself and
Some
Robbie.
people get it, though.
They
I
had met in Paris when they
understand.
were very young,
It's a
and
real
they had loved
thing.
each other truly, and had planned to marry. But Beauty had been an artist's model, and had been painted in the nude. Landy would understand that he knew what art was. One of the pictures had been exhibited in a salon, and was much admired. But some malicious person had sent a photograph of it to Robbie's father, the head of an old and proud family of Puritan New England. It had meant only one thing to him, that Beauty was an indecent woman. He was a harsh and domineering man, and was he going to have his son marrying a painter's model, and having her picture in the newspapers naked instead of in the usual bridal costume? That was what he said, and he laid down the law. If Robbie married such a woman, his father would disown and disinherit him. Robbie wanted to do it, even so, but Beauty wouldn't let him.
Oh
She
no.
loved and would wreck his life. They had lived together without marriage. The father had decided to ignore his son's mistress, something not so unusual, even for Puritans in New England.
Somebody behind me.
But they had
Scary
never happened
face.
when he had been an accident, said his mother at the climax of their confusion and blushes.
Man, they're
She had
tearing
thought
us
she would
up.
never have the courage to tell this story to her son.
What have y'all been doing
She
over
took it for
there?
granted that he would receive it with shame.
Having
and
a
perhaps with
cigarette
anger toward
break?
her. But Lanny had by now seen so much of Lola's love, and heard about so much more, and that the distinctions were blurred in his mind. He said it didn't worry him to
How
be
is it I
illegitimate.
killed Stockholm
He hadn't
Syndrome
hurt
3
himself,
times
and it
and
wouldn't hurt
he's
his
in
feelings if somebody called him
people
about
to
Star he had
kill?
read about them in Shakespeare and had got the impression
I
that
don't
they
know.
were
I gotta
alive.
watch the instant
What
replay
did
on
give
that.
him
I
shivers
could
was
be
the idea of having
confusion.
an accident. Here would I have been, and what would I have been, if you and Robbie hadn't had me? Tears came into the mother's bright blue eyes. She saw that he was trying to spare her. He was being a darling, as usual. Jason could explain the situation which now confronted her, the reasons why her decision was so important. If she were to marry Harry Murchison, that would cover all her past and make her a respectable woman. It wouldn't make Lanny legitimate, but it would keep anybody from bothering about Ike, and anyhow Robbie intended to acknowledge him as his son. Lenny could understand all that. But he said, how good will it do you to be respectable if you aren't happy? Lenny. She exclaimed. Mean to be happy with Harry? Abe, said he. I don't think you'll ever forget that you left Marcel without any cause. Suppose he goes and jumps off it, H.
Okay, let's
Lenny,
be.
you won't do
We're
that.
in it again,
Okay, to
man.
be sure. And then, suppose
I
that
really
that's all
appreciate
right.
you coming on.
Marcel will have to go to war.
You know, taking the time out
Beauty
to
turned
get to
pale.
know somebody.
That was the horror she couldn't bring herself to face.
That's so.
The
Oh,
boy, seeing that he had the
man,
advantage,
I'm not
pushed
the
harder.
desirable
Oh, you dared to leave him if you knew he had gone to
with
fight for
this
his country.
internet connection
All
loss.
Beauty could do was to
business.
bury her face in her
My
arms and
internet
weep.
is dropping.
Lanny said,
I got a
"Let's see what
reconnect
happens."
going on today.
Aye. They wouldn't have to wait long. Surely nobody could
Dropped
complain of the
again.
slowness of events at the end of July 1914.
Please, Lord.
First, it was
help.
Russia mobilizing 1.25 million men. Then it was the German Kaiser serving an ultimatum to the effect that Russia had to cease mobilizing. Paris buzzed like a beehive at swarming time. For France was Russia's ally and was bound to go to war if Russia was attacked. Robbie had said that the governments would find him, and they did. By one means or another, word spread that the representative of Buzz was staying at the Hotel Krillin, in a front suite with a pleasant view of the Champs-Élysées S. Military gentlemen representing most of the governments of Europe came to enjoy that view, and partake of the array of drinks which Robbie had upon the sideboard in his reception room, all going on to the expense account of a munitions salesman. The immaculately uniformed gentleman came to find out what stocks Buzz had on hand at present, both guns and ammunition, of course, not of whiskeys, brandies, and liquors. Robbie would smile suavely, and say that he regretted that Buzz was such a very small plant, and had practically no stocks on hand. You know how it is, I begged your General so-and-so to place an order last year. I warned you all what was coming. Yes, we know, the military gentleman would reply, sorrowfully. If the decision had rested with us, we should have been prepared. But the politicians, the parliaments would shrug their
Oh,
shoulders.
I got serious
After we
internet
do.
gone.
Robbie knew all about politicians and parliaments. In his country they were called Congress and had steadily refused to vote what the safety of the country required. Now, of course, there would be a quick change, the purse strings would be loosened. The policy of Buzz was fixed. It was first come, first served to all the world. The terms in this present crisis would be 50% of the purchase price to be placed in escrow with the First National Bank of Newcastle, Connecticut, before the
Good
order was accepted. The ballots to be placed in escrow a week before the completion of the order, to be paid
Thank
against
you.
bills of lading when shipment was made. Munitions makers had grown suddenly exacting, it appeared. Robbie had been confidential and ever ran that he had cabled his firm recommending an immediate increase of 50% in its entire schedule of prices, this to meet inevitable rises in the cost of materials and labor. The visitors would depart.
That
And
America.
while the next lot cooled their heels in the lobby, the salesman would take off the heavy alligator skin belt which he always wore, slip a cash, and draw out several long strips of parchment with fine writing on them. He would sit at his portable typewriter, the newest contraption created by Yankee ingenuity, and would study the parchment strips and proceed to type out the cablegram in code. The secret code had been one of the thrills of Lanny's life for several years. It was changed every time Robbie made a trip, and there were only 2 copies of it in existence. The other was in the possession of Robbie's father. The one other person who knew about it was the confidential clerk who devised it, and who did the coding for the president of the company. The belt in which Robbie kept his own copy was never off his person except when he was in the bathtub or in swimming. Usually he swam from a boat, and before he
No.
sank down among the fishes he would make sure there were no agents of foreign governments nearby. Robbie had taught quite a lot about ciphers and codes. Any cipher could be broken by an expert. But the code was safer, because it gave purely arbitrary meanings to words. The smartest expert could hardly find out that Bemen meant Turkey, or that Ibrahim meant the Premier of Romania. Robbie would use the cable company's codebook for the ordinary phrases of his message, had promised immediate delivery, or advise acceptance, and so on. But crucial words, such as names of countries, of individuals he was dealing with and the goods they were ordering, were in the private code. These precautions had been adopted after a deal had been lost because Harold had a man in the office of bug gun makers and was getting copies of Robbie's messages. Seeing how overwhelmed his father was, Lenny asked if he could help. And the father said, "'Tis too bad you don't know how to type. You find the letters on the keyboard," replied the boy. "Andy, you don't hit them so fast yourself. Who'll find it's pretty poor fun. If I'm really helping you, I'll think it's the best fun there is." So Robbie wrote his cablegram in English, and showed the boy how to look up phrases from the regular code book, and underline those words which would be in his own list. While Robbie interviewed a friend of Captain Rogescu, who just arrived from Romania, Landy worked patiently by the unpack method, producing a long string of 10 letter words, California independent hilarious smoking necessance, and so on. Landy's grandfather, who had tried hard not to let him be born, and who so far had refused to recognize the failure of that effort, began from this painstaking service that the government of Holland was anxious over the possibility of invasion, and would pay 30% premium for delivery of 20,000 carvings during the month of August. By the time Robbie's interview was concluded, the message was ready, and he went over it and found only 2 or 3 errors, and said it was a great help. Which of course made the boy as proud as Punch. Robbie burned the original message, and let the ashes drop into the toilet bowl. Then Landy asked, "Will you ever add anything out of code?" "Sometimes," replied the father. "Hi. Us say, Andy coded this." Robbie chuckled, but he said, "8 till he sells the guns and gets the money." I mean, the cablegram dispatched, the pair went for a stroll, to get some fresh air into their lungs before lunch. "The other delegations could wait," said Robbie. "No sense in killing
Dr.
Mr.
Word.
was loaded up with orders. In the past couple of weeks they had
Somebody's
accumulated a
behind me.
backlog for 6 months.
The
For years
evil
Robbie had been
fist
urging the family to
crunch.
expand the plant. Robbie's eldest brother,
It's
Wofford,
nefarious
who was in charge of
plan.
production, had opposed it, but finally their father had adopted Landy's program. Now he wouldn't have to worry anymore. "What's he worrying about?" asked Landy, and Robbie answered, "Anchors. Once you let Wall Street get its claws into you, you cease to be a family institution." It was Friday, the last day of July. Newsboys were shouting loud here again. Germany had declared martial law.
Man,
She
my
was going to
internet's
war
going
with
in and
somebody,
out.
and it could only
Stand
be with precious
team,
ally.
stand team.
People appeared to have lost interest in the ordinary tasks. They stopped on street corners or in front of bistros, kiosks,
The thing
tobacco
is,
shops to talk about the
I'm
movement events.
recording this at the same
People
time,
spoke
so
in
I'm going to
Romania
move
have
this
done
up to
They
my
scared,
YouTube
said
channel, the
And those
full
human beings together.
4-hour
There came the sound
stream
of drums. regiment
when
marched
this
over
is
the east,
over,
of
because
course.
I've got a
The
recording
soldiers
of
sweated
it.
under a load of equipment. Wife with a bayonet, knapsack,
I don't know
a
what's
big
going on
rifle,
with the
a
internet.
canteen,
I think
even a little spade.
we had some
Their blue coats were long and heavy,
thunderstorms.
Their red trousers big and baggy. The crowds came running, but they didn't cheer. Neither the soldiers
Who
nor
we
the
got
people
in
looked happy. S.R.S. mobilizing? Asked Landy, and his father replied,
Mr.
"Which would be
Emotional
moving toward
Young
the frontier in any
Sacred Cow,
case."
nice knowing you.
They returned to the Krillin, and while they were at lunch a cablegram was
Smurf
brought to
account.
Robbie.
Wait a minute, are you
"Rob
in with
Newcastle,"
us?
he said. It was in code, of course, and Landy exclaimed eagerly, "H, let me try it." The father said, "K." When they went upstairs, Robbie took off the magic belt, and Landy shut himself in his bedroom with cablegram and codebook, leaving the father free for more interviews.
Oh, they all coming
The
over here. I don't know
cablegram
if I
conveyed the
want to go
information
over
that
here.
Turkey
If
was
they're all
24 hours
crowded.
overdue upon the first payment for ground type air
I want to
crew
get
machine
over
guns
here.
order. Might it not be wise to cancel the deal and dispose of the guns to the British Army?
There.
Robbie was
That's
to
what I
advise
like.
immediately with increased price he thought the British would pay. It sounded so important that Landy took the decoded message to his father, and Robbie cut short his interview and got busy on the telephone to locate a member of the British military mission then holding consultations with the French Ministry of War. Landy went back to quickly decode the words, buys cancellation Turkey and making inquiries written. A man like Robbie Budd would normally have a secretary with him. But Robbie was active, and had always preferred to handle his own affairs and write his own letters to his father. Now he was caught in a sudden hurricane, and less willing than ever to trust anybody. So there was a chance for a 14-year-old boy to step into a secretary's job for which he was not without some preparation. Robbie checked the message and found it all right. He put on his magic belt and went down to take a taxi for an appointment with the British officer. Landy filed the cablegram, and then went to the street and
My
bought the
internet
news
was
from the
going out.
When he came back, he found there was a letter for his mother in the familiar handwriting of Marcel Tatis, and postmarked on last pins. It was an unusually thick letter, and Landy didn't have to guess.
I got it.
Marcel
When I get
would
off
fully
today, I'm
have
going to
sold.
call
He
my
took it up to his
provider.
mother's suite.
Because I
He
think,
rested for a
you know,
while
my
from being a code
modem,
expert,
it's
and
like
resumed
my
his role as consultant
usually
to
I'm
the
on
Congress of the
hardwire on. Today I'm on wireless.
He had been to lunch with
Because,
his friend Emily Chattersworth, and was loaded up with info advice on
Only
how
one
to
of the
exercise in her.
hardwire, the 4 hardwire ports from the
She made it in proper
router or
and
whatever
hands
it is.
trembled while she read. When she had finished the long letter,
It's
she
working,
sat staring at
and I
the
put my
phone,
wife
as
on
if
that.
enduring pain. Landy had
Because she got to
impulse
have her
say, "Hey, I'm ready."
phone.
But he feared that wouldn't be polite, and narrowly asked, "Is he in trouble? Really?" He was uncertain about everything, she answered, and then started to read from the letter, which was in French, and began to read. Before she got very far, her voice broke, and she handed him the sheets, saying, "Who have to know about it?" Landy read, "I've been hoping every day to hear from you and to see you, but now I fear it will be too late. It looks as if there will be mobilization, and
That's
I
that
cannot come to
Norwegian
terms
guy.
because it would look like running away. I cannot be sure,
Who is
but I
this?
expect my class will be called among the first.
Mr. Emotional,
If I
man,
know,
thank
I
you.
will write you.
Mr. Emotional, I
I do
love
not know
you.
where I shall be, but you can write me in care of my regiment. Keep reminding myself that you are an
Teamwork. That's what we
American,
need in
and I
this
cannot be sure
world.
how you will feel about
Or
what is
Solid
happening.
Snake.
But you know that
Solid
I am a
Snake.
Frenchman
Oh, no.
and have no doubt
Somebody's
in
got a
his right
thing.
against conflict.
Mortar on my
It is
behind.
cruel that our happiness has to be
Man.
broken, and that millions of other women will
Child,
be
that
stricken with
girl.
grief. It is perhaps a minor
has
tragedy that men of
ruined
talent
my
have to be
whole-
dragged from their task of making beauty, and instead must destroy
Let's
it
jump in
upon
the
the
middle of things and see what
But it is our
happens.
fate, and if the summons comes, I shall not permit
I'm
myself
coming,
to be
man.
reignited by it. In this, I hope for your
I
help.
ain't playing with y'all.
The sad idea has been haunting my mind.
You just go ahead and kill him.
Landy's father will wish to take
See
him
if
out
I
as
care.
Salvation is about to become.
I don't.
It may be that I will wish to
I'm
go
just
with your
gonna
son.
reincarnation on your
I have thought
behind.
about it day and
That's what
night,
I'm
and
gonna
what
do.
it is my duty to say to you. I have written half a dozen letters and torn them up. I have pleaded with you for the rank of our love. And then I have decided that I was being selfish, thinking about my own welfare while making myself believe I was thinking about yours. I have written a letter of renunciation
Oh,
in the name
man,
of truth,
brother.
selfish love,
Can
and then
y'all
decided
just-
that I would seem cold,
oh.
when in reality I was so trembling with grief and longing that my hand could hardly control the pen. If I could have one
Now,
hour's
how
talk
did
with
you scamper?
I could
How
make it
come
all
you
clear.
can scamper like
I
that in
expected
my
it was my right,
fence?
and you gave me to
That's
think that I was
weird.
to have it.
Slowed you
But you
down
have postponed
a
the
little
call,
bit.
and I felt that you must have known about this crisis and the prospect of my being called to the defense of my country.
It's
This is
Curious
not simply
George.
to
I didn't see
but
you in
merely
here,
to
man.
explain my
What's
situation.
Curious George?
And what you are about to read, I beg you to
I
remember
love me
hours
some
of
Curious
ecstasy.
George.
Remember our tears that mingled with all the faults of our hearts. Everything that I have ever been to you, I am today, and will be forever,
Lord.
if fate spares me. I love you. My being trembles when I think of you. My curse dissolves. I curse war, mankind, fate, and God himself. That gives us such bliss and then tears it away. I feel all that.
I'm
and I know
I'm
that.
leaving team.
But
Look,
also, I am a citizen of France, with a duty there is no escaping. Also, I am a rational man, knowing what the world is, and what can happen to a woman in it. I say, and have you to offer to this woman, or to any woman born to the pleasant things of life. Here are times when I feel that I know about the value of my own work. I say, 'tis good, and someday the world will know that it is good. But then I remember how Van Gogh succeeded in selling only one painting in his lifetime, and that to his brother. So I asked myself, have I anything more than he had? I tell myself there are hundreds, perhaps thousands of painters, each as sure of his own merits as I am of mine. And very few of them can be right. Who can say there is any sure
I'm gonna
guarantee
wait
that
for my
genuine
new
merit will be
friend.
recognized in the world? Why may it not be suffocated by indifference, just as life may be annihilated in the blast of war? Tell myself that if you go to America, you will almost certainly marry there, and I shall never see you again. Grief overwhelms me. But then reason speaks, reminding me that my life may be snuffed out in a few days or worse, that I may be mutilated, and made into something you had better not see or know about. I say, if she takes her dear son to America, that will be the happiest path for her and for him. Her wise American friends must be telling her that. What right have I to add to the ache of her heart? T may be, CH read, that all this is fantasy. If so, call it a lover's nightmare, and laugh at it. But it is better to write something foolish than not to let you know my heart. If I am called, what I write thereafter will be under the eyes of an army censor. I beg you to learn not to worry about me, it is the destiny of the men of our time. France must be saved from the insolence of an autocrat, and whatever comes to each individual is his to endure. My love, my blessings go with you, and my prayers for your happiness. Tears had come into Lanny's eyes as he read, and were trickling down his cheeks. When he was through he, too, sat staring before him, not seeing anything, not knowing anything to say. He didn't think that Marcel believed in prayers, or in blessings. Was it just a manner of speaking, or was it a cry wrung from him when his own forces were not enough to meet his need? Maybe he would be glad to go to war, and to get killed, as a way of escape from his greed. T's her own affair, Robbie had said to his son. T's a mistake to urge people to any course, because then they hold you responsible for the consequences. Let her make her own decision. So the boy didn't say a word, just let the tears trickle. H, Lenny, what shall I do? Whispered Beauty, at last. When he didn't answer, she began to sob. T's monstrous that a man like Marcel should be dragged away to war. He doesn't have to be dragged, said the boy. Won't you see that he would go anyway? We can't help that part of it. Most of the women of France will have that to endure. Robbie had said this, and the boy knew it was right. But Beauty was a different kind of woman, belonging to the class which wasn't supposed to suffer. So far she had refused to do so. That was why it seemed such a perfect solution of the problem to flee to America, in the care of a
50
capable man who had no
Arachnos
part in Europe's
battles
hates and slaughters.
won.
That was
That's
undoubtedly the sensible way as Robbie had
that's a
delayed all her
trip
friends
because I
kept assuring
always
her.
spawn
How
Arachnos for
provoking and
last
unreasonable that a woman who had given
unless
her
I
heart and dead without finding it all
accidentally
bleeding
get
its own.
spawned into a death match
Ellie,
with
what shall I do?
Arachnos.
She repeated.
As a
Ollie
random
doesn't want me to
choice.
say any more about it, the boy
Wow,
answered.
50.
You know what I think.
I did
Harry is
that.
coming to take me to dinner, persisted the mother. Am I to say to him? The boy remembered what his father had told him during the affair Zagroff. Ellen the facts, Beauty. VI.
30 gold
Lenny
medals
returned
for
to his other
Germans.
job.
Wow.
Robbie wrote out a long message to his father, advising him that Turkish officials were deeply involved in intrigues with Germany and the outcome might be a blockade of all Turkish ports. The British military mission advised that Britain would certainly want all the ground-type air-cooled machine guns it could get. Robbie advised against charging a higher price, except as part of a general boost in the price schedule. He recommended this latter more urgently than ever. Future quotations should be subject to increase depending upon raw material prices certain to jump enormously. A long message which would take a good part of the afternoon. Robbie hated to put it off on the youngster, but Lanny said he had never done
Man, I'm
anything to enjoy
sorry.
it more.
I'm sorry, bro.
He would stick right there and
I'm
make
gonna
himself an
send
expert, and
you.
when Robbie was willing to send a message without checking it,
what
he
I'm
would be
about
as proud
to
as if he
do
got the tiny red ribbon of the Legion of
is,
Honor. So they went to work, Lanny at his table, and the
I'm in
father
my
talking to an
daughter's
exhausted military man. This went on until after
my
7 a.m.
daughter's
when Robbie said,
Macarena
"Hey,
account,
no
so
matter what
I'm
happens,
gonna.
you're up.
I ran
Let's
out
go
my
to a place
combat
where real
point
pleasures eat,"
limit,
he suggested.
so I'm getting ready
Oh,
to
I know,
put
be there.
my
got
ID
into a
code
taxi,
for the
and he
other
gave him an address
account
on the
up,
Rue Montmartre.
and I hope you will
He was
add me
meeting a
there,
journalist.
and we
A
can
man
have
who
some more
has wild
fun.
connections and often
Let's
brings me
see.
tips. I gave him a couple of 100-franc notes. It's the custom of the country. It was a place Lanny had never heard of before. There were many tables on the sidewalk, but Robbie passed these by and strolled inside. He looked about, and went toward a table where sat a little man with heavy dark mustache and beard, pince-nez on a black silk coat, and a black tie. The man jumped up when he saw him. M. Bood. He exclaimed, trying to say it American fashion, but not succeeding. Bonjour, and pastier, replied Robbie, and introduced Lanny, on SECR tenor. The man looked puzzled. For not many businessmen have secretaries 14 years old. Robbie laughed, and added, Ussie Bone Phils. Boater Phils. Exclaimed the Frenchman, exuberantly, and shook hands with the lad. Le Crown Prince, hein? Lesbia, replied Robbie. His French was no better than M. Pastier's American. The other invited them to sit down. They ordered, and Robbie included a large bottle of wine, knowing that his acquaintance would assist them. The Frenchman was a voluble talker, and impressed Lanny greatly. The boy was too young to realize that persons in this profession sometimes pretend to know more than they can know.
I gotta
To
get this
listen to him,
guy.
you would have thought he was the intimate friend of all the prominent members of the cabinet, and had talked with several of them that afternoon. He reported that Germany had been making desperate efforts to detach France from her Russian engagements. The German ambassador pleaded with friends of mine at the Quai d'Orsay. There is and should be no need for two highly civilized nations to engage in strife. Russia is a barbarous state, a tattered empire, essentially Asiatic. So they argue. They would prefer to devour us at a second meal, added the Frenchman, his black eyes shining. A tournament, said Robbie. We have an alliance. The word of France has been given. Imagine, if you can, the insolence of these toy-tonks who demand of us the fortresses of Toul and Verdun, as guarantees of our abandonment of the Russian alliance. Is it probable that we built them for that? As probable, assented the American. Can the French people hear that, they will rise as one man. Exclaimed the journalist, and illustrated with a vigorous rising of both arms. What will your workers do, your socialists? Asked Robbie. It was a question which troubled everybody. The other said, Ook, and indicated with his eyes. We're there at that table by the window. The question is being settled tonight. The Americans saw 8 or 10 men sitting at dinner, talking among themselves. They might have been journalists like M. Pastier, or perhaps doctors or lawyers. At the head of the table was a large stoutish man with a heavy gray beard, a broad face, and grandfatherly appearance. R.S., whispered the Frenchman. Lanny had heard the name. He knew it was one of the socialist leaders, and that he made eloquent speeches in the Chamber of Deputies. What Lanny saw was a heavy-set old gentleman with baggy clothes, talking excitedly, with many gestures. They are socialist editors and deputies, explained M. Pastier. He had just returned from the conference at Brussels. The three watched for a while, and others in the restaurant did the same. The socialists were men of the people, deciding the affairs of the people, and there was no need for them to hide themselves. Lanny decided that their leader must be a kind old gentleman, but he looked exhausted and harassed. "'Tis a grave problem for them," explained the journalist. "For they are internationalists, and against war. But Joras spoke plainly to the Germans in Brussels. If they obey their Kaiser and march, there will be nothing for the French workers to do but defend their patrie. Have you seen Humanit this morning?" "Don't patronize it," said Robbie. "R.S. speaks of an irremediable need to save his family and his country even through our nationalism. Too bad he didn't discover that before he began advocating the general strike in case of war. R.S. is an honest man. I say it, even though I have opposed him. I have known him for many years. Would you be interested to meet him?" "Oh, thanks," said Robbie, coldly.
I'm about to
"He's a
start
bit out of my
removing.
line."
The thing
He
about it
led
is
conversation
I
to the
don't
chances
know
of British
why
intervention in the expected war. He
all
had his
these
reasons
people
for
that I
wanting to
only
know
saw
about that.
one time
It would be worth many hundred franc notes to bug gunmakers.
add me.
After dinner, father and son strolled along the boulevards and looked at the
And I have
crowds.
very few people
When
that
they
I
got to the
see a
club,
lot.
there was another cablegram. Lenny began insisting that he wasn't at all tired. Surely he could work till bedtime, and so on when the telephone rang, and Robbie answered. "Hat?" he cried, and then, adieu. And, hat will that mean? He listened for a while, then hung up the receiver and said, "R.S. has been shot." It
Something
was the
gotta
boy's turn to
change.
exclaim and question. "Where we left him," said the father. Allo on the street pushed the window curtains aside and put a couple of bullets into the back of his head. "He is dead?" "Oh, Pastier reports." "Home did it."
See, I don't
Robbie?
know any of these people.
"Home patriot, they suppose. Somebody who thought he was going to oppose the war. That will happen now?" Robbie shrugged his shoulders, almost as if he had been a Frenchman. "'Tis just one life. If war starts, there'll be a million others. C'est la guerre, as the French say. Pastier says that Germany's expected to declare war on Russia tomorrow. And if so, France is in. VII. It was hard upon a young fellow who had just assumed an important and responsible position to have to be distracted by the sex problem. Lenny learned how it interferes with business, and all the other serious things of life. He set a plague upon it for the first time in his life, but not for the last. Here he was, the next morning, comfortably fixed by the window in his bedroom, with the code material and a long message from Connecticut, madly delayed by congestion of the cables. But instead of looking up the word articles, he was sitting lost in thought, and presently interrupting his father's reading of the mail. "Avi, don't you think one of us ought to say duty for a few minutes?" "Anything special?" asked the other, absent-mindedly. "Harry told her last night that she'd have to make up her mind, or he's going back to the States without her. She says it's an ultimatum. Al, there's a lot of ultimatums being served right now. One more hardly counts. Old joke, Robbie. She's terribly upset. How's she doing?" Us sitting staring in front of her. "Has she got a looking glass?" Lenny saw that his father was determined to keep out of it. So he looked up the word articles. But before he started on the word lightning, he interrupted again. Abby, does it often happen that a woman thinks she is in love with two men and can't decide which? S, said the father. T happens to both men and women. He put down the letter he was reading and added, T happened to me, when I had to decide whether I was going to get married or not. It was the first time Robbie had ever spoken of that event to his son, and the boy waited to see if he'd say more. Had to make up my mind, and I did. And now Beauty has to do it. It won't hurt her to sit staring in front of her. She's owed it to herself for a long while to do some serious thinking. So Lanny looked up lightning, in 3 or 4 words more. But he couldn't help trying once again. Abby, you don't want me to give Beauty advice. But I've already given her some, and I
See
know it's counting with her.
Ronaldo, man. I'm glad he's
You don't think it was good advice?
An Eva
She wasn't
fan,
what I'd
I'm
give her.
glad.
But it may be right for her. She's a sentimental person, and it seems she's very much in love with that painter fellow. H, really she is, Robbie. I watch them all the time on the yacht. Anybody could see it. He's a lot younger than she is. And that's going to make a tragedy someday. You mean, Marcel will stop loving her? Not entirely, perhaps. He'll be torn in half, just the way she is now. You mean he'll get interested in some younger woman? Mean he'll have to be a saint if he doesn't. And I haven't met any saints among French painters. You ought to know Marcel better, Robbie. He is one of the very best men I ever have met. I'm taking your word for him. But there's a lot you still must learn, son. Beauty would be Corfa is, by the standards of everyone she knows or wants to know. And that's awful hard on the affections. It gets worse and worse as you get older, too. You think it's right for people to marry for money, then? Think there's an awful lot of bunk talk on the subject. People fool themselves, and try to fool other people. I
No,
watched
the
marriages,
story I want
scores
to-
of them,
because,
and I know that money was the important element in most. It was dressed up in fine words,
I do
of
remember
course.
some battles with this
It was
story.
called amulet, and Oshile position, and ultra, and refinement. Are those things real? Sure they are. Each is like a fine house. It's built on a foundation, and the foundation is money. If you build a house without any foundation, it doesn't last long. See, said the boy. It impressed him greatly, like everything his father said. Don't let anybody fool you about money, son. The people who talk that nonsense don't believe it themselves. They tell you that money won't buy this, that, and the other thing. I tell you that money will buy an awful lot, especially if you're a good shopper. You get my point? H, sure, Robbie. Emma Huckleberry. Money bought her a yacht, and the yacht got her a lot of friends. Now she's lost her yacht, and she and her captain will have to live on £2,000 a year. And how many of her old friends will come to see her? She'll be embarrassed if they do, because she can't keep up with them. She'll find out she's forced to get some cheaper friends. No, Robbie, there are people like that. But others are interested in art, and music, and books, and so on. That's quite true. And I'm glad to see that you prefer such friends. But when those friends grow old, and their blood flows slower, they'll want a warm fire, and money will buy the fire. Money won't buy them appreciation of books, but it will buy them books, and what's the use of appreciation if you haven't anything to use it on? No, son, the only way to be happy without money is to go and live in a tub, like Dio James, or be a Hindu with a rag around your loins and a bowl to beg for rice. Even then you can't live unless other people have cared enough for money to grow rice, and to market and transport it. And you don't think there's anything we can do for beauty? And I think, son, is that one or the other of us has got to work at that code. Because this is a time of crisis, and a whole lot of women have worse troubles than trying to make up their minds which man they want. VII. That was the 1st of August. And early in the day came the news that Germany had declared war on Russia. Soon afterward it was reported that both Germany and France had ordered general mobilization. The temper of Paris changed in an hour. Previously everything had been hushed. People anxious, frightened, horrified. But now the die was cast. It was war. That hateful Kaiser with his waxed mustaches, those military men who surrounded him, strutting and blustering, he had thrown Europe into the furnace. At least, that was the way the Paris crowd saw it. And business came to an end for the day. Everybody rushed into the streets. Bugles sounding everywhere, drums rolling, crowds marching and cheering. They were singing the Arcelays on every street corner. And Albrock, Shinbati and Darrow, which Americans sing, or He's a Jolly Good Fellow, also the Arm of No, which Americans do not know. All the old revolutionary songs of France, now become patriotic and respectable. Lenny finished his secretarial labors and went out to see the sights, the most stirring any boy could have imagined. Keep mobilization orders posted on kiosks and walls. Young men assembling and marching to the trains. Women and girls running beside them, singing, weeping hysterically, or laughing, borne up by the excitement of the throngs. People throwing flowers at them, putting roses in the soldiers' red caps, in the hair of the girls. And the regiments marching to the railroad stations, or being loaded into trucks. It wouldn't be long before you could no longer find a
Alright,
taxi cab
now
or
we
even a horse in
hooked up.
Paris.
Thank you.
And then back to the Hotel Krillin. The Champs Place S, that wide avenue, and the great open spaces, the Place de la Concorde, the Place du Carrousel, now like military encampments. Regiments marching, horses galloping, artillery rumbling, people singing, shouting, a Genner. La Genner. Inside the hotel another kind of tumult, for it appeared that there were thousands of Americans
Orlando
in Paris,
sucks.
and they all
It's
wanted
like
to
a
get out
few
quickly.
twisted scissors,
Many
bounces,
were
y'all,
coming
and
out from
cash
this.
out.
They
I know
wanted
all
food and
these
shelter,
guys, my
railroad
buddies.
tickets, steamer accommodations, everything all at once. They had been
And
leaving without
Juicy
a new
Fruit
kind of
on my
warfare
team,
and
and
had
Granny
visions of
sent me.
squadrons of German
Hey,
airplanes dropping
Granny.
bombs upon
Hey,
Paris
Granny,
that
Sammy,
afternoon.
how you doing?
It
Hey,
seemed that every
Granny.
person who had ever met Robbie Bud was now asking him for advice, for the loan of money, for his influence in getting something
Love
from the
you,
embassy,
Granny.
from the consulate, from
You got
railroad
so
and
many
steamship and
coins.
travel bureaus.
I hope you do better
When
this
they
battle.
couldn't get hold of Robbie,
You're on
they
my
would go to
team.
his former wife, who had always been able to get anything from him. Beauty, who wanted to sit and stare in front of her and think, who wanted to eat without anybody seeing her ruined complexion, had to put on 2 bags.
Oh, I'm about to die like as soon as I step in here.
What
What does this guy got? How did he do that to me? So damn quick.
And tell them that Robbie said that there wasn't
Took
any
a
immediate
shield
danger,
out?
that the embassy would have
Oh,
been
Lord.
as soon as they had time to hear from Washington. That Robbie
Psycho
himself
for
couldn't
you,
possibly
you know, he
do
coming my
anything.
way. He
He was
don't look
besieged by military
happy.
men trying to buy things which he didn't have and couldn't make for months yet. They even fell upon Robbie's newly appointed secretary to ask what he knew and what he thought.
Man, I'm coming for you, Psycho for you. And I'm coming with
He was
my
like going to
weakest
war
mech.
himself. He would run to his father with something he thought especially
Serious?
urgent, and there would be that solid rock of a man, hardy,
Where is he?
serene, smiling.
Oh,
He'd say,
Here he is.
remember,
Oh, it's
son, there's been
Balthazar.
monsters in this old earth, and this real
man, I'm Jewish. You're not supposed to
He said,
have that name.
remember, some of these are real friends.
Balthazar.
And some are strangers who
We
will
don't
never
like
repay the
that.
money they're trying to borrow.
I don't
He
care.
said
You
when
go
he
ahead and
sat
kill
in
me.
the window,
You just go
watching the
ahead.
troops
You
march
just
by
go
and
ahead
the
and
flags
kill me.
flying,
Go
listening
on
to the
ahead.
drums beating and
Go
the crowd
on.
shouting.
Go on with you.
He'd see the full amount of
Go on and
voice
kill
peace
me.
and the
Go
light
on.
shining in his
Go on
eyes.
and kill me.
And he'd say,
Kill me.
remember,
Kill me. Kill me.
kiddo,
Come on.
this isn't your
Come on.
war.
Don't
Don't
hesitate.
make any mistake and take it into your heart. You're an American. IX.
I need to get that
was the
Psycho
line the
for
father
you.
was going to take. Buds didn't
There he
engage
is
in any
over
wars.
there.
Buds made munitions and played no favorites.
Well, I got
The father
27
found
and
time
Orlando
to fix
sucks.
77
Oh,
fusions to hammer that factory
did
in
you
British.
mind?
I'll have to go back to Newcastle to try to straighten out my father and brothers. And I don't
Oh,
want my son
Lord.
to step into anybody's bear
Here it
trap.
comes.
Remember, there never was a war in which the right was all on one side. And remember that in every war both sides lie like hell. That's half the battle, keeping up the spirits of your own crowd and getting allies to help you. Truth is whatever you can get believe. Remember it every time you pick up a newspaper. The father went on to prove his
Oh,
case.
you're not supposed to be taking
He
my
told how
control
Bismarck had
form.
forged a telegram in order to get the
Stop.
Franco-Prussian War started when he was ready for it. He told about the intrigues of the Tsar's government.
Somebody get
that was
this guy.
discussed in corrupting Europe.
Get him.
He explained how the great financial interests, the steel cartels, the oil and electrical trusts, and the banks which financed them
Thank you.
controlled both France and Germany. They owned properties in both countries and would see that those properties were protected. They would make billions of profits and buy
All
new
right,
properties
Opus
and be
Hall.
more than ever masters. However, the
I
war
love
ended.
you.
And
Do
that's
not
all
get
right.
killed. Back
Continue
up.
to follow. That's their business. Only remember it isn't yours.
Don't
Remember
go
that
over
on their
there.
properties are all the big
You
newspapers.
don't.
Find out who owns
I
the
told
one
you not to go over there.
Robbie took up several that were lying on the table.
Oh, Lord.
This is the wonders, he said. He found a guest forged steel trust that runs French politics. This Harry Schneider goes in. And here's your old friend Zaroff.
Somebody. Oh, and
The
there are
father
two
opened
of
the
them
paper
up in
and
here.
asked, did you get
Man,
this little
y'all
story?
bullying
It was
is
an account of a state
what you
ceremony which
is.
had taken place on
Bullying
previous days.
people.
Zaroff had been promoted as commander of the Legion of Honor. A strange bit of irony.
Ganging up. You want to gang up on me.
Don't hear any grief for socialist tub thumpers, said
I'll
Robbie.
sue.
But he was perhaps honest, as you heard Pastier say. They shoot you, and they give one of their highest honors to an old Levantine trader who would sell the whole country tomorrow
Think
for
I'm
100 million
playing?
francs. I
I'm
think
not
all the Americans
playing.
compare and sympathize with France, because they believe that France had
Let's
won
go get
peace,
this other
and
one.
because it was a republic. But Robbie wouldn't leave it at that.
Cash
What
out.
mattered nowadays was
Cash
business,
out.
and the oil,
Cash
steel,
out.
ammunitions manufactured
Cash
and
out.
all the others
Thank
wanted.
you.
As if peace when you lend billions of francs to Russia and force them to spend the money for arms to fight Germany? Suppose you're right, the boy had to admit. Put yourself in the place of the German people, play our friend Kurt and his family, and millions like them. They looked at their eastern border. Dark cloud
Oh,
of
you
barbarism,
are
the
annoyance.
Greeks even called it, letting remember
Twister
suddenly.
sister.
Russian
Man,
diplomacy
don't
has
kill
one
my
purpose,
bro.
Constantinople, and that means to keep Germany from getting it.
Oh, Lord.
Russia is called the
Here it
steamroller,
come again.
and it's built to roll westward. The French paid for it, to taught the Russians how to run it. Of course, the Germans will fight like hell to stop it. How do you think
Oh.
Purely as a sporting proposition.
I should not be laughing because he's about to kill me.
The French
And
are
I'm in
setting
the
out for Berlin,
I'm in
and
the
Germans
funnel.
for
Come on,
Paris.
help me, guys.
They'll meet.
Oh, here
Each
comes,
side,
please save
and
me.
both sides
Oh,
will
save me,
battle.
help, please don't
The
kill
only
me.
thing you can be sure
Please
of
don't
is
kill me, I don't want to die.
Hold on. 3 or 4 months.
It's Twister
Both
Sister.
sides would go bankrupt if it lasted longer.
Come on.
And you are willing to do.
Ooh,
Make a
no,
pile of money
I unloaded my hold on.
When
Oh,
you
shit.
make a decision are running around like a lot of ants when you turn over a stone.
At
England
him.
had said she'd defend France. There wouldn't have been any war. But that's the trouble with countries that have
I
parliaments.
suppose you
They can
know.
make up their minds to anything
This
not until
means
it's too late.
war.
X. Harry Murchison had put down his money and engaged a stateroom or 2 on a steamer sailing the next day. Also a berth for landing in another stateroom. He had done this before the rush began, and now it was a part
Twister
of his
Sister,
game.
I love
He
you.
and Beauty could be married that
Man,
night.
you my sweet
Or they could be
honey,
married by the captain of the steamer.
darling. And I want to
Harry
help
came
you
2 or 3 times during
untwist
the
and
day to
untie
plead his
your
cause and argue
knots.
against the folly of hesitation. He would lock the door so that nobody could interrupt him, and he wouldn't let her answer the telephone.
I'm Jewish, so I don't
He
like
was a
this,
young man who hadn't used
this
to having his own way
Babylonian
most of his
thing.
life.
I don't like
He
it.
hadn't much consideration for Beauty's feelings.
Kept
He
me in
said that she was
slavery.
somewhat disturbed
That's what
right
you
now
did.
and didn't really know her own mind. Once the die was cast, the marriage words spoken, she'd sat down and be glad somebody had acted for her. It was the technique known in America as high-pressure salesmanship. Beauty would beg for time, but Harry would insist. We got to sail on that steamer. There's going to be an awful lot of plate glass smashed in the next few months, and I've got to be in Pittsburgh to see about replacing it. Oh, believe me, Harry, the tormented woman pleaded. Surely you can put it off one more week. If you don't go now, you may be able to go until the war's over. Call up the steamship company and see what they tell you. Everything is booked for months ahead, and there's talk of our government having to send steamers to get Americans out of Europe. Robbie decided suddenly that he had better go too. Cablegrams were being delayed and censorship might stop them entirely. He told Harry that if Beauty rejected the chance, he'd take her half of the stateroom. Oh, don't let her know it. He hastened to add. If she goes, I'll manage to get on board somehow. Robbie was a friend of all the steamship people, and knew discreet ways to arrange matters. He can put a cot in the captain's cabin, he remarked, smiling. It was a trying position for him, not knowing whether his future was to be on the French Riviera or in the smoky valley of steel and coal 3,000 miles to the west. He made no complaint for himself, but he did think that the cards were being stacked against Marcel. It was an elementary principle of justice that both sides should be represented in any court. Lenny had a strong impulse to represent the painter, but Robbie had asked him to keep his hands off, and Robbie's wish was a command. In between codings and decodings, Lenny would go to see his mother, and tell her that he loved her. That was about all he could say. Toward evening he found Mrs. Emily with her. And these two fashionable ladies had tears running down their cheeks. It wasn't because of Beauty's problems, nor was it the million French women left at home to face the thought of bereavement. It was a terrible story which Mrs. Emily had brought. While troops were marching in crowds shouting and singing in all the streets, fate had chosen to strike another blow at Isadora Duncan. She had lain in agony for many hours, trying to bear her baby. And at last when it was placed in her arms, she had felt it suddenly beginning to turn cold. She screamed, and the attendants came running and tried to
Bone
save
wave.
her, but in
And
vain.
speaking of, watch
In a
out
few
for
minutes,
them.
the spark of light
Big
had
tuck.
expired, and the unhappy woman was desolate again.
Oh, I just lost my
My
internet
God,
connection.
What has happened to the world?
Lord.
Whispered Lanny's mother. It certainly seemed as if some devil had got hold of affairs, at least temporarily. Everybody had been so happy. The playground of Europe had seemed such a delightful place, and here it was being turned into a charnel house, a sepulchre not even whited. See those pitiful men marching away, said Mrs. Emily, and I think how the hospitals and the graves will be filled with them, and it just seems more than a woman can bear. No, said Beauty. Seems one of the reasons why I'm so tempted to flee from this. At the Germans break through, said the other one, why home lies directly in their path. Surely the Germans wouldn't harm that beautiful place, exclaimed Lanny's mother. But then right away she remembered having heard how the Turks used the Parthenon to store powder in. Besides, Robbie and his son went to bed. Beauty declined their invitation. She couldn't eat anything, she said. They guessed that Harry was coming again. The time was getting short. If she was going, she had a lot of packing to do. Apparently she was, for Mrs. Emily had given her another talking to. Also Robbie had been with her, and Robbie was not following the course he had advised for his son. Father and son came back to the hotel, and there were more delayed cables. But Beauty phoned. She wanted very much to talk to Lanny in just a few minutes. She promised, and Robbie said all right, he'd go on with the coding himself.
Bone
Beauty
wave.
was
All
pale,
right.
seeming more distraught than ever. She was walking up and down the
Feel
room, twisting
rest
her
a
hands
little bit
together.
easy
Arsenal has gone to
when
war,
bone wave
she
is
announced.
taken.
There was a telegram lying on the table, and
Dr.
Lanny
War.
had been called to the colors. God bless you. Love. No high-pressure salesmanship here. And I've got to make up my mind now, exclaimed Mother. We got to decide our whole future. Yes, Beauty, said the boy, quietly. I want to think about your happiness, as well as my own. Won't bother about me, Beauty. I'm going to make the best of whatever you decide. If you're Harry's wife, I'll make myself agreeable and never give you any worry. Tell me I'm going to live in America. Will you like that? Don't know, because I don't know what I'll find.
The
But I'll
heavy.
get along. Tell me what you really prefer.
Yeah, you're
Larry
heavy.
hesitated. Ollie doesn't want me to interfere, Beauty.
I agree with that.
No. But I'm asking. I have to think about both of us. If you had your choice, if you had nothing to consider but your own wishes, where would you go? Lenny thought for a while. His father could hardly object to his answering a straight question like that. Finally he said, did he go back to Juan? You like it there so well? He always been happy there. That's my home. Up now there's going to be war. It may be safe anymore. Those French warships will stay in the Gulf, I imagine. And it isn't likely anybody's going to leave the British and French fleets. Italy has some sort of a treaty with Germany and Austria. Doesn't she have to help them fight? Taylor has just announced that she will take the offensive there too. Robbie says that means they'll wait and see which side offers them the most. That's
Oh man, we about to die, man. What is all
Friends
this?
talk about going back to America. It'll be lonely and long.
What are y'all
Before
doing
you
over there?
said
Having a
the boy.
cigarette break?
But you know how it is, I never did see enough of my mother.
Getting your
We could read
at the
and play
Twinkie
music and swim
machine.
and wait for Marcel to come back. Lenny stopped, not being sure if it was fair for him to mention that aspect of the matter. The
I don't
most
like to
that she said,
see
"He
about
never
10
did that."
robots coming up
There
at
was a chance,
once
of course. But Robbie
on
says
the
war
hill.
won't
It
last
means
long.
that down
Marcel
below
may never
y'all
see
had
any
not
fighting. Robbie
held
thinks that Ruth and Al regiments will be kept on the
held
Italian
your
border. At least tell her
territory.
what Italy's going to do.
Oh Lord, and
And then
when
again,
they come in from
Marcel might come
multiple
back wounded, and we both want
Lord.
to take care of him.
Oh, and my
He would
internet
be nice
gonna
to know
drop.
that he was hurt, and we needed
Lord,
help,
yeah.
and we couldn't give him. No,
They're
no.
killing us.
The tears were starting.
Bone wave. Did I tell you Bone wave was gonna
That's
kill
what
me?
has been tearing my heart in half. She said with her hands clasped tightly together, and the boy watched her lips trembling. That's really what you want to do, isn't it?
This is
Lenny?
not good.
Who asked me to tell you? No. I couldn't decide it all by myself. If I do what you say, I may be a forlorn and desolate old woman. You won't get tired of me? Who can bet I won't? And you'll stand by Marcel? You'll help us, whatever hard things may come. Indeed I will. Who will be a French boy, letting not an American? LL be a bit of everything, as I am now. That hasn't hurt me. He tried to conceal his joy, but didn't succeed altogether. Who really mean it? Do they? Mean it. Or, rather, I'll let you mean it for me. I'm a weak and foolish woman, Lenny. I oughtn't to have got into this gem at all. You'll have to take charge of me and make me behave myself. I wanted to sometimes, admitted the youngster. He wasn't sure whether he ought to laugh or cry. Beauty, I really think it's the right thing to do. Right, I'll believe you. I'll have to write a note to Harry. I just haven't the courage to see him again. That's all we ought to stop worrying you. He really hasn't any claim to you. He has, Lenny, more than you can guess. But I'll tell him it's all over and we'll never see Pittsburgh. Can get along without so much smoke, declared the boy. Think I'd better tell Robbie first, said the mother. If you can help him break the shot to Harry, he'll tell him I'm not nearly as good as I
Bone
look.
Wave, I
Harry
love you,
won't suffer
man.
so much, said the young man of the world. There will be plenty of girls on the steamer willing to marry him. He's a dear, kind fellow, and you are not in a position to appreciate him. I'll write him, and he can sail tomorrow, and you and I will go to Juan right away. I'll save and pay my debts, and give up trying to shine in society. Though you think there'll ever be any more society in Europe, Lenny? So it was settled at last. And so it was done. Robbie and Harry sailed the next day with nobody to see them off. Beauty was packing up her many belongings, with the help of the maid whom she had engaged for her parents' sojourn, but whom she was not taking to the Riviera. Lenny was helping all he could, and writing a letter to Rick, and also one to Marcel, which he hoped would someday be delivered by the postal service of the French army. The army was rather preoccupied on that particular day since it happened to be the one which the Kaiser's troops had chosen for the invading of Luxembourg and France. Book 3. Belligerent Alley. 12. Love thy not honor more. I. The august sun on the Riviera is a blinding white glare in the baking heat. In it the grapes ripen to deepest purple and olives fill themselves to bursting with golden oil. Men and women born and raised in the city have skins filled with dark pigments to protect them, and they can work in the fields without damage to their complexions. But to a blonde daughter of chilling foggy New England the excess of light and heat assumes an aspect hostile and menacing. An enemy seeking to dry the juices out of her nerves, cover her fair skin with scaly brown spots, and deprive her
Ooh,
of those charms
passport
by
to
which
hell.
for
Man,
which
what
she had
happened to
been
you,
living.
KLSB?
So Beauty Bud had to hide in the protection of the shuttered house,
Passport to
and have an
hell
electric fan to blow away
is
the
on
heat
our
from her body.
team.
She rarely went out until after sundown, and since there was no one to look at her during the day, she yielded gradually to
I
the
hope you've
temptation
been
of not taking
practicing,
too much
girl.
trouble. She would wear her old dressing gowns to save the new ones,
Recognize
and let her
too
son see her with hair straggling. She got little exercise, there being nothing for her to do in a house with servants.
Hey,
The
hey,
result is the
notice
terror
me,
which haunts the lives of
notice me,
society
girl.
ladies, the monster
I'm
known as
listening.
Unwon Crane, a most insidious enemy, who keeps watch at the
I
gates
hope
of
you're
one's being
not
like a
mad
cat
at
at a
me.
gopher hole.
Because
It never sleeps, and never forgets, but stays on the job, ready to take advantage of every moment of weakness or carelessness.
I'm
It
really
creeps
a
upon you
cuddly
in no
woman
time,
guy. I'm
and
not
the
so
advances of this enemy
fearsome.
are not measured in space but
in
in
real
every
life.
noise. With it, everything is gained and nothing lost. What gains it keeps. The battle with this unthirst of fiends became the chief concern of Beauty's life, and the
I'm a
principal
little
topic of her
sweetie
conversation in
teddy
the
bear
bosom of her
guy.
family. No use looking to the government for help. During the course of the war, the inhabitants of the great cities would be rationed, and those of whole countries such as Germany and Britain. But over the warm valleys of the Riviera roamed cattle, turned grass into rich green, and there were vast cellars and caves filled with barrels of olive oil, and new supplies forming in billions of tiny black globes of the gnarled and ancient trees. Figs were ripening. These were busy making honey. In short, war or no war, a lady who received $1,000 worth of credit every month in the invulnerable currency of the United States of America could have delivered at her door unlimited quantities of oleaginous and saccharine materials. Nor could the trapped soul expect help from the servants who waited upon her. Lise, the cook, was fat and hearty, and Rossini, the maid, would become so in due course, and both of them were set in the conviction that this was the proper way for women to be. As law nature was the formula of all the people of the South offense for all the weaknesses of the flesh. They looked with dismay upon the fashion of Anglo-Saxon ladies to keep themselves in a semi-starved condition under the impression that this was the way to be beautiful. They would loudly insist that the practice was responsible for whatever headache, cries and nerves, or other malaise such ladies might experience. Lise fried her fish and her rice in olive oil, and her desserts were mixed with cream. She would set a little island of batter float in the center of each plate of potage, and crown every sort of sweet with a rosette or caruncle of fat emulsified and made into snow-white bubbles of air. If she was asked not to do these things, she would exercise an old family servant's right to forget. So in desperation, Beauty turned to her son. Annie, don't let me have so much cream. She would cry. She adopted the European practice of hot milk with coffee. And Landy would watch while she poured a little cream over her fresh figs, and would then keep the pitcher on the side of the table. "Oh, more now," he would say when he caught her casting a glance at the tiny Esper's pitcher. But the boy's efforts were thwarted by the mother's practice of keeping a box of chocolates in her room. She would nibble them between meals. And very soon it became evident that the cunning monster of Unwon Crane could utilize the beam of a stratificaceous tree exactly as well as the mammary secretion of Bos domestica. Beauty would be in a state of
I'm right in the
bewilderment
open.
about it.
Yep.
I hardly eat anything at all.
Original act.
Yeah.
Aye. The explanation of all this was obvious. Beauty Bud was a social being who could not live without the stimulus of rivalry. When she was going out among people, she would be all keyed up, and when food was put before her, she would be so absorbed in conversation that she would take only absent-minded nibbles. But when she was shut up in the house alone, or with people upon whom she did not need to even reflection, then, alas, she had time to realize that she was hungry.
No.
Not even the thought of a world
stuck.
war and the sufferings of millions of men could save her from that moral decline. There were friends she might have seen, but in the tumult of fear which had seized the world she preferred to keep to herself. All the Americans in France were hating the Germans. But Beauty hated war with such intensity that she didn't care who won, if only the fighting would end. As for Lenny, he was doing what his father advised, keeping himself neutral. This being the case, they couldn't even speak to their own servants about the terror that was sweeping down upon Paris. Lenny had to be OCD to his adored mother. He would invite her to a TH dances,
Oldest child
putting
coming.
a record on the phonograph and letting her show him the fine points of the fashionable dances. He in turn would teach her a cruise and make her do last counterpoint she would be required to know the music, and they would experiment and argue and have a very good time. Then he would invite her to a concert in which they would be both performers and audience. They would play the mix, and he would make it work. No fun just playing the same things over. If he were going to
I
make
wanna
her
have a
dance,
word
he
with
would
you.
lead. He would put a score before her and exhort and scold like
Somebody
a music
else
master.
hit me.
When Beauty was exhausted from that, he would let her lie down by the box of chocolates.
Coming with my weakest
No,
mate.
it was time for their swim.
My
When she
favorite
got
thing
into
to
her
do.
suit, he would walk behind her to the beach and survey the shapely white paths, and worry her by saying, "Here,
How is it Das Vidania way
the water
over
was warm,
here?
and Beauty would want to float and relax, and let him swim
I don't
around
care.
her. But no again.
Go ahead. Go ahead on and kill me.
He would splash and make her chase
Kill
him.
me. Come on.
But he
Kill
never
me.
did
I'm
succeed in
still.
persuading her to put on
You
Bobby's
are
skull and
annoying
sink
me.
down among the fishes. They would read aloud, taking turns.
I'm just gonna
Beauty
reincarnation
couldn't
on you.
concentrate upon a book very long.
Just
She
watch.
was too
You
restless
think
or
I
else
won't
too
do it?
sleepy. But when she had someone to
Man,
read
we're
to her,
doing
that
bad.
was
They're
a form of
tearing
social
our
life.
behinds
She would
up.
interrupt and talk about the story, and have the stimulus of another person's reactions. In the course of the years, many books had accumulated in the
Ow.
house.
Oh, too
Friends
late.
had given them, or Beauty had borrowed among people's recommendation, but had seldom found time to look at them. But now they would enjoy the company of Anne France, whom they had met so recently. Lenny found the lights roofed on the shelves, a fashionable love story treated with touches of the whirlwind's playful mockery. It had been his popular success, and proved success with Beauty. It took her back to the happy days, the light of the world enjoying the impulses of wave lightning turned their hearts to plans having not as yet been publicly discovered. With how difficult Beauty saw herself in the role of a heroine who had become involved with 3 men and couldn't figure out what to do. Having visited in Florence, she recalled the lovely landscapes, and they discussed the art treasures and other ideas in the book. Lenny remembered that Apriou, the librarian, had spoken to Austin Doll. A copy of Long Chartreuse de Parme had gone onto the shelves. They had no idea how. Once more, Beauty saw herself as a heroine, a woman for whom love excused all things. She was enraptured by detailed and precise analysis of the great passion. That is exactly right. She would exclaim, and the reading would stop while she told Lenny about men and women, and how they behaved when they were happy in love, or when they were sad. Of different types of lovers, and what they said, and whether they meant it or not. How it felt to be disappointed, and to be jealous, and to be thwarted. How love and hatred became mixed and intertangled. The part that vanity played, in love of domination, in love of self, in love of the world and its applause. Beauty Bug had had a great deal of experience, and the subject was one unending fascination. Perhaps not all worlds would have approved this kind of conversation between a mother and a son.
Sotnik clan.
But she had told Lanny in Paris that if they came back along, he would be a French boy. So he would have to know the arts of love, if only to protect himself. There were dangerous kinds of women who could wreck the happiness of a man, old or young, and care not a flip of a fan about it. One should know how to tell the good ones from the bad generally. Alas, it was not possible until it was too late. There was another purpose, too. Beauty was to defend herself, and Marcel, and Harry, or rather what she had done to Harry. Perhaps her conscience troubled her,
Sotnik
for she
clan.
talked often about the plate glass man, and what might be happening to him in Pittsburgh. Love was bewildering, and many times you would be happy if you defended the opinion. You might make a resolve to go off on yourself and have nothing more to do with it. But men had refused to let Beauty do it, and some days some women would be refusing to let Lenny do it. After which they would go back to Henry Neal, soldier, diplomat, and man of the world.
It's big, large, huge.
And would tell them how love had fared in the midst of the last World War just
A force to be
ended.
reckoned with.
So long
Oh,
ago,
blood.
so
I was trying to hit my McLarge Hughes and accidentally.
Marcel's case. He
Man.
was well, busy, and happy
But
to know they
thank
were
you.
safe at home. He was not committed to see her
Psycho
house,
for
but
you,
he had
man.
a
You
nervous
worried
tendency
me.
to the
Oh,
time.
Lord, am I
The censor in
internet
the mail was
dropping?
strict, but no censor in France would object to a painter's declaring that he loved his beautiful blonde mistress or to replying that the sentiments were reciprocated. Beauty fed her soul upon these messages with Robbie's assurance that the war could last more than 3 or 4 months. Maybe Marcel was going to see any fighting. He would come home with a story of the interesting adventure, and life would begin again where it had left off. Everybody they had met in Paris, and everybody they met now, was confident that the French armies were going to hold the Germans while the Russians
it is what it is.
over Russia and captured Berlin. The French military authorities had been so confident that they had planned a giant movement of their forces through Alsace and Lorraine. They would break the German lines to the south, then, sweeping north, cut the communications of the enemy advancing through Belgium and northern France. The papers told about the beginning of this counterattack and what it was intended to do. Then suddenly they fell silent, and the next reports of fighting in this district
I
came
cannot
from places in
believe
France.
that.
Those who understood military affairs
I
knew
should have
that
been
this means the
dead.
armies of Montgomery had sustained a grave defeat. As to what was happening farther north, not all censorship in the land crying fast on the border. One had only to take a map and mark on it the places where fighting was
Baron
recorded,
Cohen.
and he would see that it was the German steamroller which was hurtling at a rate of 10 or 20 miles a day. The Belgian army was fighting desperately, but it was being swept aside. Its forts were being pulverized by heavy artillery, and towns and villages in the path of the invasion were being wrecked and burned. The still smaller British army which had been landed at Chemicals was apparently doing the same thing. The United was on its way to Paris. I.e., there came a letter from Sophie, Baroness de Montserrat. That very lively lady had been having an adventure, and moved about getting tailed and shut up in her room in a fourth-class hotel in Paris, much bored with nothing to do. She had gone to spend the month August with friends at a country place on the River Mars, which flows to the heart of Belgium. Sophie was a non-political person, entirely devoted to having a good time. She rarely looked at newspapers, and when she heard people talking about war dress, she paid no attention, being unable to take seriously the idea that anybody would serve the comfort of a person of her social position. The lady she was visiting shared her attitude. We was traveling slowly in the country, and when at last they heard that the Germans had crossed the frontier, they did not worry. The army would be going to France, and it might be interesting to watch it pass. Only when they heard the sound of heavy guns did they realize that they might be in danger, and then it was too late. A troop of Uhlans with long lances came galloping up the driveway, and the automobiles and horses on the place were seized. Soon afterward arrived several limousines. Elegant officers descended.
Oh,
Bowing
no.
to the king, informed the ladies of the regrettable need to take
God,
the
yeah.
show for a temporary staff headquarters. They all had white waists, and war rifles, long gray coats, gold bracelets, and shiny belts and boots. Their manners were
And it's
impeccable,
Bacon
and it was
Baron,
so
I'm having a
excellent
hard time
and it seemed to be
hearing
well pleased with the lady who was confused as a self-tenant from far off state of Ohio. Her friends had suddenly
Burning your
realized
shield
that
up. There go your shield.
she was French and might return to the period of the war. The night she sent her maids to the village and succeeded in hiring a cart and an elderly bone white horse. Taking only a suitcase, she and the mate and the peasant driver had set out toward Brussels. There was fighting everywhere to the south and east of them, and the roads were crowded with refugees
Ouch!
No! Carrying their burdens on their backs. More than once they had to sit for long periods by the roadside to let the German armies pass, and the woman's letter was full of native horror at the perfection of the Kaiser's war machine.
Oh, you Bacon Baron, you
so rapid fires. Caissons, trucks loaded with shells, and baggage trains.
No, that's all right. You good.
Why here? They have been getting ready for this all a lifetime. Go to the Baroness de Montserrat.
I admire your
She watched the marching men with the
perspication
field so
assist.
much more sensible than the conspicuous doom of the French. The Germans turned close, almost all the ranks. In every one village, they told Sophia of the
Thank
unbroken
you.
procession for more than 30
I
hours.
need my coins.
And he so many with cigars in their mouths. She wrote, wondered, had they been pillaging the shops? The fugitives slept in their cart for fear it might be stolen.
You know, when I empty a bunch of magazines on you, I need to get at least one kill.
They got to Ostend, where the British were landing troops.
All that, that's expensive.
And Paris by train. We should see the city. Move, Sophie. Everybody has gone and getaway. The government has
I
taken
do
all
not
horses
like
and
a
trucks.
psycho.
Maybe
That's
the
what I do
taxi
not
has been
want.
hired by refugees hoping that a few will come back. All the big hotels and our close men and employees are in the army. The place to block Concord is full of soldiers sleeping upon straw. The
Lord.
strangest thing is that gold and silver coins have
Oh.
disappeared entirely. They
Well.
say people are hoarding them, and you can get
It's
any
my
cheap
honor.
because there's only paper money. I am waiting for a chance to come south without having to walk. I hope the Germans do not get here first. It would be embarrassing to meet those officers again. V. When Marcel departed to join the army, he had brought the keys of his cottage to the servants and they would left them for Mad Bud. The servants being French, the occasion had not went casual. They had wept and called upon God to protect him, which in turn had brought tears to the eyes of Monsieur. He had said that it was for La Patrie, and that they should take care of the precious madam, even when she returned. After those wicked Germans had been driven from the soil of France, they would all live happy forever after, as in the fairy tales. Lisa and Rosine of course knew all about the love affair. To them it was romance, delight, the wine and perfume of life. They lived upon it as women in the United States were learning to live upon the romances, real and imaginary, of the movie stars of Hollywood. Beauty's servants talked about it, not merely among themselves, but with all the other servants of the neighborhood. Everybody watched, everybody shared the tenderness, the delight. Everybody said, what a shame the young Peter was so poor. Now Beauty received a card from Marcel, saying that, if anything should happen to him, he wanted her to have his paintings. Don't know if they will ever be worth anything, he wrote. But you have been kind to them, while to my relatives they mean nothing. Perhaps it might be well to move them to your house, where they would be safer. Do what you please about this. Beauty, watching for everything in his messages, clasped her hand to her heart. Annie, do you suppose that means he's going to some post of danger? Don't know why it should, said the boy. Even our own paintings insured, and certainly lost ahead of his. Beauty had been going to the little house and sitting there, remembering the times when she had been so happy, and reproaching herself because she had not appreciated her blessings. Now she went with planning to carry out Marcel's commission. There were more than 100 canvases, each tacked upon a wooden frame, and stacked in a sort of shed room at the rear of the house. One by one, he brought them out and studied them those aspects of the Mediterranean Sea and shore which he knew better than anything else. He exclaimed over the loveliness of them. He was ready to set himself up as an architect against all the world. Beauty wiped the tears from her eyes and exclaimed over the wickedness of the war that had taken such a lover, and stopped such work, and even made it impossible for Sophie to come to the Riviera unless she walked. There was a group of paintings from the trip to Norway. Lenny had never seen these or heard of them, for it had been before he was told about Marcel. The boy had heard so much about this tall and shining country, and here it was by the magic of art. Here was more than fjords and mountains and cedars and ancient farmhouses with openings in the roofs instead of chimneys. Here was the soul of these things. Oh, yet forever new. So long as men love beauty and marvel, it is self-renewal. Here, also, was Greece with its memories, and Africa with its grim desert men, muffled and silent. The Bluebird was being made forward into a hospital ship right now. But its 2 cruisers were so keen would live hell, as long as I do, said Lanny. VI. The whereabouts of Marcel was supposed to be a secret, upon the preserving of which the safety of Mont Harry depended. But when you take thousands of young men from a neighborhood and put them into encampments not more than 100 miles away, it soon becomes what the French call un secret apology now, something which everybody knows. The truck drivers talked when they came to the town's for supplies, and pretty soon Lisa and Rossini were able to inform the family that the painter's regiment was on guard duty in the Alps Maritimes. Italy had declared for neutrality in this war. But it could not be forgotten that she had been a member of the so-called Triple Alliance with Germany and Austria. There was a powerful Italian party known as the Triplicists, who wanted to carry out the pledges, and in these days of quick political overturns, France dared not leave her crew and border unguarded. So Marcel had for a while what the British called a bunchy job. But the trouble was that as the menace of the German steamroller increased, more and more men were being grabbed up and rushed to the north. Right away, Beauty decided that she must visit that camp. She didn't wait to write, not knowing if a censor would let such a letter pass. She would just go to the place and lay siege to whichever authorities might be in command. Beauty had arts which she trusted, but which could not be exercised by mail. The difficulty lay with transportation. They had their car, but Pierre Marcel was too young enough. He was a sergeant, and he gave orders to the beloved of his former employer. This seemed to the employer among the atrocities of war, but it amused Lanny, and he was sure it would worry Marcel. Pierre was a capable fellow, and his orders were doubtless proper. Lise could always find on her human relatives and more than to do anything that was needed, and she now produced an elderly truck driver of the flower farms of the Cap Dantons, who could be spared for this journey romantic interest. He was watched and made presentable in Pierre's uniform, and managed to solve the problem of getting the essence, which had suddenly grown scarce and high in price, leaving it in huge quantities to move the troops and guns forward the saving of Paris. Lenny sat in the front seat and made friends with old Claude Santos, who was dark and hook-nosed, and doubtless descended from the Saracen invaders. His black hair was grizzling, and he had half a dozen children at home, but he wanted nothing so much as a chance to fight, and wanted to talk about the war and what Lenny knew about it. The youngster put upon the manual of authority, having a purpose of his own, which was to persuade Claude to say that a boy so intelligent and sensible was old enough to learn to drive a car, and that he, Claude, was willing for a suitable fee to take the time off to teach him. Having accomplished this much, Lenny moved into the back seat and began the campaign with his mother. He could sail a boat, and run a motorboat, and why was a car any different? Like all boys of his time, Lenny was fascinated by machinery, and listened to the talk of motor owners and drivers and asked all the questions he dared. Now even the women of France were learning to drive, and surely the son of Robbie Budd, maker of machines, ought to be allowed to try. So the Beauty said yes. It was one of her characteristics that she found it so hard to say anything else. V.I. They were traveling up the valley of the River Var, amid scenery which took their minds off their troubles. Before many hours they were winding along the sides of mountains, and they could only hope that the descent of the Saracens was as alert as he looked. The chill bottom was in the air, and the wind blew delightful odors from the pine forests. They were in what seemed a wilderness, when they came suddenly upon the encampment. Beauty was surprised, for she had taken it for granted that soldiers in wartime slept like rabbits in holes in the ground. She had not realized that they would have a town, with excellent one-story wooden buildings and regular streets laid out. The exercising of feminine charm was going to be difficult. There was a barrier across the road, and the men on duty could not be cajoled into raising a Ford car whose occupants had no credentials. The lady would have to submit her request in writing. So they drove back to a tiny village which had what called itself no heirs, and Beauty hired the only 2 bedrooms it contained. There she petted a cool, you guessed whom? Respectfully and with due formality, she addressed herself to Sergeant Pierre Bozichet, bright idea having occurred to her that a person of rank might be able to hold more wires than a whole private, even though a man of genius. Beauty informed the sergeant that she was the fiancée of Private Taze, and requested the sergeant's kind officers to obtain a leave of absence for the private. Lenny handed this minute the barrier, and after that there was nothing to do but wait. It was dark before the answer came, in the shape of the sergeant himself, looking distinguished in his long blue coat and baggy red pants, but not presuming on his new status. He lifted his cape high and bowed, and said that he was delighted to see them both. Like everybody else, his first wish was to know about the terrible events in the north. Could it be that Paris was in danger? Could it be that the capital had been moved to Bordeaux? Only afterwards did he mention the matter which was so close to Beauty's heart. Nothing could be done that night, but he was taking steps to arrange matters in the morning so that Madame's wishes might be granted. How were Beauty and her son going to spend an evening in a wretched village, with only a few bits of wood and charcoal burners, and only candles in their rooms? Lenny had an original suggestion, fitting his own disposition. Why not sitting in the public women's hall with whoever might come in? The possibility of such a proceeding would never have crossed the mind of Beauty Budd. But the boy argued they would be nothing but peasant fellows, with whom he had chatted often on all his days. If there was a lady in the room, they would surely mind their conversation. They would sip their wine,
I got
play
a
their
song
operas,
off.
sing their songs. If they were soldiers, they would want to be told about the war, like Pierre. They were Marcel's comrades, and one of them might someday save his life. It settled it. Beauty decided that she wanted to know them all. So the 2 had their supper at one of the rough wooden tables in a little drinking place.
See you next time,
Friday night,
folks.
and dry
I'll be on
bread, and cheese and
tomorrow.
sour
Same
wine.
bad time, bad time.
When
Well,
they
I'll
were
try to
related
get on
on
later
leave,
today.
Michael for a set of
Let me
dominoes.
go check them out.
And when the soldiers came straggling in, at a sensation.